3 years prior, planet Earth unexpectedly entered a new era, the era of spiritual chi revival, and humanity embarked on a journey of discovery, researching and harnessing the potential power of this mystical energy source. A fortunate few awakened extraordinary abilities, surpassing the limits of ordinary people. They became courageous heroes, standing against terrifying monstrous creatures, and earning the admiration and respect of all humankind. Amidst the desolate landscape, a city engulfed in flames and smoke, Lin Tian coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood, his body riddled with wounds. He seethed with rage, his voice a guttural growl as he cursed at Li Xiaotong. "You despicable wretch." But Xiaotong remained unfazed, her eyes cold and merciless, as she plunged a dagger deep into Lin Tian's abdomen. A blood-curdling scream tore from Lin Tian's throat. She scoffed, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "This beast's life is surprisingly tenacious. He's still not dead." From a sky above, Jiang Wu slowly descended, approaching them as he asked, "What's going on here? Haven't you had enough fun yet?" She turned, answering him with an indifferent expression. "Brother Jiang, this cat-and-mouse game has grown tiresome. We've been waiting for you to make your move." Jiang Wu tenderly embraced Xiaotong, then cast a disdainful glance at Lin Tian before speaking. "Lin Tian, your comrades have already been sent to the Yellow Springs. Now it's your turn. Before you descend into hell, do you have any last words?" Finishing his sentence, he viciously stomped on Lin Tian's head. Lin Tian gritted his teeth, each word forced out with a growl. "You adulterous couple will meet a gruesome end." Jiang Wu burst into laughter. "I don't know what our end will be, but one thing I know for sure." He swung his leg back and delivered a powerful kick. Lin Tian was sent flying into the abyss. "Is it you're going to die now?" he continued coldly. Below, in the depths of the chasm, a horde of grotesque monsters awaited Lin Tian. Images of his fallen comrades flashed through his mind, filling him with torment and guilt. "It's all my fault. I led them to their deaths." Lin Tian blamed himself. Li Xiaotong. He whispered her name. "If there's an afterlife, I swear I will never forgive you, you treacherous whore, you wolf in sheep's clothing." Lin Tian breathed his last, consumed by a burning hatred for the two ungrateful traitors. "I will make you and that adulterous pair, Jiang Wu and you, pay with your blood, pay with your lives." But what awaited Lin Tian wasn't the finality of death, wasn't a cold embrace of nothingness, but a strange, mechanical sound emanating from a system. Supreme Whaless system activated. Host detected in life-threatening condition. Initiating Shrikong Wiso dimensional translocation. Due to insufficient host points, time and space coordinates will be randomized. Completely randomized. Commence countdown 3, 2, 1. The excited voice of a soccer commentator suddenly boomed out. Number 10 for Team China takes the shot. And it's a goal. Magnificent. Lin Tian's eyes flew open in shock. He was sitting on his familiar sofa. His mind raced with questions. What's going on? Wasn't I murdered by those adulterous bastards? Lin Tian grabbed his phone and turned on the screen. The phone clearly displayed 2:35 p.m., May 16, 2032. Suddenly, a mystical interface materialized before his eyes. Supreme Whaless System successfully bound to host. Host is invited to select an attribute to initiate the cultivation path. Lin Tian gasped in astonishment. Could it be I've been reborn? And I'm fortunate enough to possess a legendary system. He furrowed his brows, gritting his teeth as he muttered, Li Xiaodong, Jiang Wu. In this life, I swear I'll make you two dogs pay the price. An eye for an eye, blood for blood. Lin Tian contemplated his plan while carefully examining the system's information panel. Judging by the current timeline, it seems I've returned exactly 1 month before. The Earth's spiritual energy began to surge. Currently, people are still unaware of the spiritual energy's resurgence. But in reality, the process of spiritual energy recovery has already begun in secret, quietly and discreetly. After the moment spiritual energy revived and filled the world, not only did humanity benefit, but even beasts and plants were nourished and cultivated by this spiritual energy. From then on, all living things proliferated, mutated, and evolved miraculously. Countless rare spiritual fruits possessing transcendental energy would gradually appear. They contain special, wondrous properties, granting the user extraordinary strength and abilities that surpassed human limitations. Celestial phenomena would also undergo bizarre transformations, shifting with the flow of spiritual energy. Brilliant rainbow pillars of light, resembling mystical auroras, would appear in the sky, or strange, previously unknown constellations would adorn the glittering starlit night. Heavenly fire would descend, incinerating everything. Furious thunder would roar, lightning splitting the heavens. And if one were lucky enough to absorb the essence from these mystical phenomena, their own abilities would be dramatically enhanced, reaching unparalleled heights. Lin Tian stroked his chin, a knowing smirk playing on his lips. 1 month. That much time was more than enough for him to cultivate and enhance his strength. He muttered to himself, his voice brimming with confidence. All right, system, let's see what miraculous functions you possess. He then tapped the system's introduction button, eager to see what wonders awaited him. Immediately, a detailed information panel appeared before Lin Tian's eyes. A solemn voice resonated. Welcome, host, to the Supreme Whaleless System. Next, the system will detail its functions. The system possesses a total of 4 main functions, along with their corresponding attributes. They are attribute cultivation, daily missions, item exchange, and system points. Lin Tian excitedly began to explore, fiddling with the interface as he exclaimed, "First, I'll choose the fire attribute. I hear it's the strongest. Let's see what kind of overpowered cultivation technique I can get." The system immediately emitted a brilliant flash of light. A notification popped up on the screen. The system is extracting a fire attribute cultivation technique for the host. Please wait a moment. A cultivation technique was swiftly transmitted. Congratulations, host, on obtaining a fire attribute cultivation technique. Rank purple. Technique name, Parting Skies Burning Flame Scripture. This is the first time the host has received a purple rank cultivation technique. Host is rewarded with 5 additional system points. Lin Tian was overjoyed, unable to contain his excitement as he exclaimed, "Impossible! A purple quality cultivation technique? In my past life, even a blue quality cultivation technique was enough to shake the entire world. And yet now, I'm fortunate enough to possess one of such legendary quality." Mythical purple. Without hesitation, he crushed the technique scroll, absorbing its potent energy. The instant he finished, Lin Tian felt a miraculous transformation within his body. A satisfied smile bloomed on Lin Tian's lips. This is the extraordinary power of the fire attribute. Burning and powerful. In this life, I will rise to become an unparalleled expert, standing at the pinnacle of power. I won't allow anyone to look down on me or treat me with disdain ever again. Suddenly, his phone screen lit up, displaying an incoming call from Xiaodong. A flicker of annoyance crossed Lin Tian's mind. "I almost forgot about that wretched woman." He answered the call coldly. "What is it?" Before Lin Tian could finish, a shrill voice on the other end impatiently demanded money. "Lin Tian, I just saw a beautiful handbag, but I'm 20,000 short. Transfer the money to my WeChat right now." Lin Tian roared furiously. "Transfer my ass. Go find your rich pretty boy, and don't ever call me again." He hung up abruptly, leaving her stunned and bewildered. She fumed, muttering to herself, "What the hell was that about? How dare he hang up on me like that? And how dare he speak to me so rudely?" Jiang Wu, sitting beside her, asked curiously, "What's wrong? Did your Alipay act up?" She retorted irritably, "Who knows what's wrong with him? He probably took the wrong medication. Is he trying to get a rise out of you? Aren't you going to make up with him?" Hudong leaned closer to Jiang Wu, her voice dripping with saccharine sweetness. "I'll only coax my dear Jiang Gich. Who cares about that loser anyway?" Jiang Wu continued, "I'll buy you a new outfit, and you can model it for me." "Okay," she replied excitedly. "Jiang Gich is the best. Ugh, seriously, this guy is such a pain." Meanwhile, in front of the city hospital, Lin Tian wiped the sweat from his brow, muttering curses under his breath. "Damn it, if I'd known this would happen, I would have asked Wu Ting exactly which hospital she was at. I've already run around to 3 major hospitals." He recalled Wu Ting's earlier words. "Father thought I was sick and forced me to take all kinds of tonics. It not only hindered my cultivation, but also severely damaged my ice element. This is so frustrating." Lin Tian made a silent vow. "Wu Ting, I will not only protect you completely in this life, shield you from all dangers, but I will also help you avoid any regrets after the world's spiritual energy is restored. Inside the hospital room, doctors were chattering amongst themselves, their faces etched with confusion. They crowded around the bed, bewildered, unable to explain what was happening. Why? Why are all the patient's vitals completely normal? Yet, her temperature hadn't risen at all. She remained ice cold. A man, his face etched with worry, pleaded, "Old Lee, I beg you, please save my daughter." He dropped to his knees. "I implore you, save her." My companion and I approached, offering reassurance. "Sir, please don't worry. Let me examine her pulse first," I said. Old Lee placed his fingers on Wu Ting's wrist, carefully taking her pulse. He turned to Wu Ting's father, inquiring, "Old Su, has your daughter been anywhere recently?" Wu Ting's father replied, honestly, "Masterly recently." He hesitated for a moment, then continued, "Last month, to celebrate her acceptance into Tsinghua University, I took her on a trip to Iceland. We returned last Wednesday. And soon after, she started experiencing these symptoms." Old Lee diagnosed, "Your daughter is suffering from severe chill, yin energy invasion. We need to use yang energy to counteract the yin and restore balance to her body. I'll write you a prescription. Get this medicine immediately. Any delay could be life-threatening." Overjoyed, Old Su bowed repeatedly. "Thank you, Master Lee. Thank you so much." Old Lee replied, "I'm just doing what I can. But whether she can withstand it depends on your daughter's natural constitution." Suddenly, Lin Tian burst in, throwing the door open and yelling, "Stop!" Old Mr. Su asked in surprise, "Who are you? What kind of doctor dares to interrupt Master Lee? Could this be your disciple?" Master Lee hastily denied, "Absolutely not. I haven't taken any disciples." Immediately, the other doctors chimed in, threatening to throw Lin Tian out. "Where did this rude person come from? Can't you see this is the emergency room?" Lin Tian shouted towards Mr. Su. "Mr. Su, your daughter isn't sick. She's awakening an extremely rare ice-type spiritual energy. If you continue treating her like this, not only will her body be destroyed, but you'll also ruin her bright future." The others continued to sneer, trying to silence him. "Have you been reading too many novels? Is something wrong with your head? Is your brain filled with water? Get him out of here. Now." Old Lee intervened, stopping them. Then, he turned to the young man, questioning him sharply. "How could you possibly recognize such a rare ice-type spiritual energy? Who are you, really?" Lin Tian responded calmly. "Who I am is irrelevant. The only thing that matters right now is saving her." Old Lee conceded to Lin Tian's plea, prompting him for a solution. "If that's the case, then young friend, please enlighten us on how to treat this critical illness. How can we save this girl?" Lin Tian began reciting the prescription fluently. 2 chien of fresh ginger, 2 chien of prepared aconite, 5 chien of cassia bark, 1 chien of Chinese angelica. The physicians present were astonished, each lost in their own thoughts and feelings. "Isn't that the same prescription Master Lee just prescribed? This young man, how does he possess such profound medical knowledge? His prescription is identical to Master Lee's. Impossible. He must have secretly peeked and copied it." Old Lee interrupted, his voice commanding attention. "Young friend, his prescription is identical to mine. However, I'm afraid it's still not enough to cure Miss Su." Lin Tian immediately interrupted him. "I haven't finished yet. Don't jump to conclusions. This prescription is still missing the most crucial ingredient." Without hesitation, the young man named the missing ingredient, Xingluhua. Old Lee replied, "Young friend, while your prescription does indeed have the potential to awaken Miss Su without causing any harm, Xingluhua, I'm afraid, would be incredibly difficult to find, even in this vast world." The other doctors exchanged skeptical glances, thinking to themselves, "What? Dr. Lee is saying this. Kid might actually be able to cure the Su family's precious daughter. Could it be that this boy was actually telling the truth?" Wu Ting's father asked Old Lee, puzzled, "Just how valuable is this Xingluhua? The Su family is not short of money. Please, sir, tell me, where can I find—" Old Lee shook his head slowly, regret etched on his face. "I'm afraid it's not something you can buy, young man. The Star Path flower is a legendary bloom, known for its exquisite 5-pointed, star-shaped petals of a mesmerizing blue. Its pistil shimmers with an ethereal silver light. When night falls, the petals emit a soft, gentle glow, a dreamlike luminescence. They resemble shimmering stars scattered across the mystical night sky. That's why it's called the Star Path flower. The resin of the Star Path flower possesses miraculous healing properties, capable of mending any wound. It accelerates healing and swiftly soothes pain. The old man sighed, then continued slowly. This is what my grandfather read in an ancient, long-lost book. This flower only thrived in an era when the Earth's spiritual energy was abundant. But now, the spiritual energy is depleted, so it can no longer exist. Old Sue, don't worry too much. Does that mean my daughter will have to endure this pain for the rest of her life? Lin Tian quickly consoled old Sue. Uncle Sue, please don't worry too much. Everything will be all right. I assure you, I can save Wu Ting without causing her any further harm. Old Li immediately pressed him. Young man, are you saying you possess the legendary Xingluha? Lin Tian confidently replied, precisely. Several doctors hurriedly intervened, cautioning Master Li. Master Li, don't listen to this boy's nonsense. Save her how? This brat couldn't possibly. Just now, another doctor interjected. He was secretly peeking at the prescription through the surveillance camera in the operating room. How could a punk like him possess superior medical knowledge than me? Old Li's voice dropped as he countered. Then how do you explain the Xingluha? Do you have any proof to back up your claim? Another person scoffed. He's lying, obviously. That thing sounds like something out of a video game. Lin Tian silently commanded the system. System, activate the Point Redemption interface now. The system responded to his request instantly. Point Redemption interface activated for host. What item does the host wish to exchange for? I need to exchange for Star Path Flower, Lin Tian requested. Host has used 5 points. His command was executed immediately. Star Path Flower exchange successful. Lin Tian smiled, presenting a radiant Star Path Flower. Everyone, stop arguing, he said. Look at what this is. Old Li, old Sue, and everyone around them were stunned, their faces filled with astonishment. Hey, a Star Path Flower. Old Li stammered, his voice trembling. Is it really a Star Path Flower? Young brother, this flower. Do you really possess this legendary medicinal herb? Lin Tian countered with a question. Now do you all believe that I can cure Wu Ting? Old Li spoke up, his tone now respectful. Young man, I apologize for my outburst just now. Please forgive my rudeness. I implore you, please save her, heal the Su family's granddaughter. Everyone anxiously surrounded the young woman's bedside. Lin Tian looked at Su Yuting, thinking to himself, Yuting, my destined one, I swear, I won't let you suffer any more harm. With that, he channeled the power of the Xingluo flower to heal her. Yuting's body slowly absorbed the flower's mystical energy. The observing doctors cried out in joy. Her body temperature is rising. Her temperature is increasing. This is wonderful. Her vitals are stabilizing. Yuting's eyes fluttered open. In her hazy state, she saw Lin Tian beside her. Lin Tian, she whispered. I'm here, Lin Tian replied softly. Rest and get well. We'll see each other soon. He then turned to Su Yuting's father and instructed, Uncle Su, Yuting has recovered. Now, make sure she gets plenty of nourishing food to regain her strength. Elder Su was overjoyed, excitedly shaking his hand. Divine Doctor, thank you. I'm truly and deeply grateful. Elderly, wanting to keep him a while longer, spoke up. Young friend, please wait. If you have a little free time, even just a moment, could you perhaps stay and enjoy some tea with this old man? Lin Tian politely declined the invitation. Sir, I have matters to attend to. Please excuse me. If fate allows, we will meet again. Elderly looked curious. Such a talented young man, but this old man still doesn't know your esteemed name. As he walked away, he replied, My name is Lin Tian. Please remember it. Back at home. Lin Tian searched on his computer, lost in thought. I think I read an article in my past life about the different realms of cultivation. It was published after the spiritual energy returned to Earth. He exclaimed in delight as he found the information he needed. Aha, there it is. Lin Tian pondered, recalling, in my past life, the spiritual energy recovery was so sudden and rapid. Therefore, upon his murder, his soul, merely at the 3rd level of the Iron Vein realm, transmigrated to a foreign land. Crystal clear water flowed with a gentle, pristine murmur. Lin Tian, drenched in sweat, diligently cultivated his technique. The young man thought to himself, this heavenly flame-splitting art is truly formidable and overbearing. He renewed his resolve, more determined than ever. In this life, I must devote myself to cultivation. I must become a mighty emperor, standing at the pinnacle of the world. The scene shifted to another magnificent, towering building. Director Liu sternly questioned Old Lee. Are you saying you witnessed a young man possessing the Flower Star Path? Could this young man also possess abundant spiritual energy? Old Lee affirmed with unwavering certainty. Indeed, Director Liu. He continued, his voice filled with conviction. I'm certain that this young man, he is a rare genius in spiritual cultivation. If he is allowed to mature without hindrance, his future will undoubtedly reshape the entire world. Director Liu handed the woman beside him a picture of the young man. Xiaoya, I want a full background check on that boy. Immediately, the woman beside her scoffed loudly. Director Liu turned to Old Lee, his expression serious. If what you're saying is true, then you've achieved something truly remarkable, an unparalleled feat. Lin Tian had successfully cultivated the technique. The young man felt the miraculous transformation within his body, a mixture of awe and astonishment in his voice. It truly is the legendary purple cultivation technique. On my first attempt, I've already broken through to the second level of the Qi gathering realm. Lin Tian watched the water swirling around him, then blurted out, "Good heavens! Just one day without bathing, and I'm covered in filth." Lin Tian stepped out, muttering, "I'm starving. I need to find something to eat, quickly." He changed his clothes and hurried out of the house. To the nearest convenience store. I need sustenance. Mom, I'm starving. I could devour a whole roasted ox right now. Lin Tian was completely oblivious to the fact that, perched atop a nearby lamppost, the mysterious woman from earlier had reappeared. She silently observed Lin Tian and the photo in his hand, thinking to herself, "Found him at last." In the next moment, she dropped a strange object. "Don't disappoint me, young man," she whispered. The peculiar object landed right behind Lin Tian, immediately catching his attention. It rapidly transformed into a grotesque, monstrous deviant hound. Lin Tian remained calm, a slight smirk playing on his lips. "Looks like the deviant pandemic has officially begun," he muttered. Lin Tian faced his first deviant beast. He pinched his nose, grimacing. "This dog reeks to high heaven." The monster roared and lunged. Lin Tian nimbly leaped aside. It charged again with terrifying speed. Lin Tian's eyes widened, a pained oof escaping his lips as the blow landed. Lin Tian gritted his teeth, enduring the agony. He sprang high into the air, harnessing a hidden strength within him. "Let fire consume you," Lin Tian roared. Lin Tian unleashed a counterattack, his fist erupting in a furious blaze. He roared, his voice filled with power. Flame fist. The mutated dog instantly spewed a mouthful of fresh blood. Lung Yu gasped internally. What was that? Blood splattered from where Lin Tian's fatal punch landed, the monster collapsing to the ground. He muttered, "You pathetic creature," then turned and walked away. As he walked, he mumbled to himself, "That punch made me even hungrier. I need to get something to eat." Lung Yu, still stunned, watched Lin Tian from afar. She thought to herself, "Impossible. Just who is he? With just one punch." He took down a tier 1 mutated beast. Doubt clouded her mind, lost in thought. Fire attribute. He awakened the most powerful offensive attribute. Fire attribute. Lung Yu set foot on the ground, walking towards the dead mutated dog. She carefully observed it, and thought, "This mutated beast tail is severed. Could it be?" Lung Yu suddenly recalled the moment Lin Tian had screamed in agony. She analyzed the situation and came to a conclusion. That horrific sound from earlier wasn't the sound of Lin Tian's femur snapping. It was the terrifying sound of that monstrous variant beast's tail being broken. She couldn't believe her own deduction. Countless questions flooded her mind. Just how strong was Lin Tian's body? Where did his power come from? There was no time to waste. She had to report this astonishing incident to her superiors immediately. The next morning, as dawn broke, Lin Tian was lazily brushing his teeth, muttering calculations to himself. After waking up this morning, he felt an intense aching all over his body, each pang of pain tearing at it. It felt as if he had just gone through a brutal life-or-death battle. It seemed he still needed to train much harder. Just as Lin Tian stepped out of the bathroom, a captivating news report flashed across the television screen. "This is breaking news. Everyone, please listen closely." Early this morning, the temperature atop Ziyun Mountain has reached a record-breaking 81 degrees Celsius. Attention all tourists. currently visiting Ziyun Mountain. Please prioritize your safety. The announcer continued to issue a warning to all visitors. Do not believe the baseless rumors that high temperatures can eliminate humidity. Trust in science. This phenomenon is simply due to severe damage to the ozone layer. Lin Tian listened intently to the announcer's every word. He thought to himself, if my memory serves me correctly, the ozone layer above Ziyun Mountain is still intact, completely unharmed. In reality, this phenomenon is due to an incredibly powerful fire attribute spiritual energy source awakening there. Immediately, he grabbed his jacket and prepared to leave. I must go to Ziyun Mountain right now to absorb this potent fire attribute spiritual energy, Lin Tian said to himself. Just as he stepped out the door, he bumped into Xiaotong. Oh! Lin Tian exclaimed in surprise. Without a word, she abruptly held out her hand, demanding money. Give me 200,000 yuan right now. I need to buy a handbag. Lin Tian retorted in annoyance. Are you crazy? What nonsense are you spouting? I made myself clear. I warned you yesterday not to bother me again. Hu Dong remained adamant, calmly telling Lin Tian, I know you're doing this on purpose, just to get my attention. But I'm warning you, Lin Tian, if you don't hand over the money right now, you'll regret it. I won't let this go. He turned his back on her without hesitation, not forgetting to hurl insults. Get lost. You're a nuisance. And don't ever show your face in front of me again. Disgusting. Ziyun Mountain was a chaotic scene. A massive crowd of onlookers had gathered. Security personnel struggled to disperse the crowd. Shout, everyone, please be careful. Do not cross the warning line. The temperature inside is 81 degrees Celsius. Extremely dangerous. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. The heat here is intense enough to incinerate someone in an instant. A skeptical man tossed an ear of corn into the heat, scoffing. Nonsense. Who would believe such rubbish? I don't believe this damn place is as hot as you're making it out to be. The corn instantly ignited upon contact with the intense heat, quickly transforming into popcorn. The crowd outside gasped in unison. Oh my God, unbelievable. It's real. I can't believe it. Stop pushing. It's dangerous. It's like a furnace in there. Stay back. From atop a bus, Lin Tian observed the unfolding scene below. Just as I suspected, he thought to himself, the fire elemental energy here is incredibly potent and pure. Lin Tian moved, quickly calculating in his mind. If I can absorb all of this immense energy, my power will undoubtedly reach new heights. Without hesitation, he stepped into the restricted area. Lin Tian's reckless action sent the crowd into a frenzy. They exclaimed in terror, that guy's crazy. Is he tired of living? Kid, come back. You'll be burned to ashes. A warning shout echoed. But Lin Tian paid no attention. Feeling the energy surging within him, he thought, so this is the power of the fire element, as formidable as the legends say. I never imagined its power could be so terrifying. His hand felt as if it were being consumed by flames. The pain excruciated. Every cell in his body felt like it was being forged in a sea of fire, a searing sensation spreading throughout him. An unwavering determination surged within him. In this life, I will become the supreme ruler, standing at the pinnacle of the world, he vowed. Outside, those witnessing the spectacle gasped in astonishment. Heavens, what's happening? What's wrong with that kid? Oh my God, someone cried out in panic. Could this be a sign of evolution? A metamorphosis? His eyes, they're on fire, another stammered. Only then did Lin Tian notice the commotion outside. He thought to himself, I can't let too many people know about this secret. I have to get out of here quickly. With that, he shot off like a rocket, vanishing from sight, leaving behind a buzzing crowd, their whispers weaving tales of myth and legend. Unbelievable. Did a deity just appear? Did anyone get a picture? A security guard, skepticism etched on his face, spoke up. What's going on here? Just a moment ago, it was unbearably hot, but suddenly it's so cool. His face paled, and he stammered, This is strange. Could that boy actually be some kind of immortal? As night fell, news of the morning's mysterious event spread like wildfire. The midday news reported. At noon today, a mysterious young man appeared on the summit of Ziyun Mountain and neutralized the anomalous weather phenomenon occurring there. However, he then vanished inexplicably before everyone's eyes. Director Liu, after watching the news, immediately called his subordinates, quickly suppressed the spread of the news about Ziyun Mountain. This information cannot be allowed to circulate any further. Otherwise, it will undoubtedly cause widespread panic and chaos. He turned to Lung Yu and asked, Last night, you witnessed that young man with your own eyes take down a level 1 mutated dog with a single punch, correct? Did that really happen? She replied, yes, absolutely. Moreover, the mutated dog's ferocious attacks seemed utterly ineffective, unable to inflict even a scratch on his resilient body. Director Liu stared at Lin Tian in astonishment, thinking to himself, in just 2 short days, have we stumbled upon 2 exceptional prodigies? He quickly pondered, we can't allow other factions to reach Lin Tian first. At any cost, we must recruit him into the organization. The sooner the better. Without hesitation, he briskly led me to meet Lin Tian. We went directly to Lin Tian's residence, where he was immersed in quiet cultivation. Lin Tian opened his eyes, brilliant light flashing within their depths. While assessing his physical condition, Lin Tian thought to himself with satisfaction, success. I've finally broken through, reaching the Yongquan realm. Immediately afterward, the system displayed a notification. Congratulations to the host for successfully entering the Yongquan realm. The reward for the host is an attribute point. A brand new attribute has been unlocked. Host can now perform synchronized cultivation, enhancing overall strength significantly. A novel attribute has been added, promising extraordinary abilities. The synchronization system has officially activated the powerful talisman fusion function. Host can now permanently bind an element to their weapon, greatly increasing its power. The durability of the weapon after enhancement will depend on its constituent materials. The rarer the materials used to craft the weapon, the higher its durability after elemental fusion. Lin Tian couldn't hide his excitement at these new possibilities. The young man thought to himself, doesn't this mean I can now create powerful elemental weapons with my own hands? Lin Tian picked up his old knife, his eyes gleaming with excitement as he spoke with enthusiasm. Old friend, watch as I help you transform into a formidable divine weapon. Suddenly, a strange sound from outside caught Lin Tian's attention. Who would come here in the middle of the night? He wondered to himself. Lin Tian called out. Before him stood Lung Yu and a middle-aged man, Director Liu. Hello, Lin Tian. Director Liu spoke first. I am Liu Ying, president of the Spirit Cultivation Association. He continued, his tone gentle. And the woman beside me is Lung Yu, my trusted subordinate. Liu Ying looked at Lin Tian with a sincere gaze. We're here today to discuss spirit cultivation with you. The words Spirit Cultivation Association flashed through Lin Tian's mind. Distant memories flooded back, recalling a life-or-death moment from years past. Back then, he and Wu Ting had been saved in the nick of time by a member of the association. Thank you so much for saving us, a younger Lin Tian had exclaimed gratefully. You're welcome. It was my duty, the woman had replied with a smile. Please be more careful in the future. I have other duties to attend to. Please excuse me, she said, quickly taking her leave. Lin Tian pondered in silence. Although I was saved by the association in my past life, in this life, I haven't had any contact or connection with them whatsoever. Shouldn't that be the case? Then, how did you all learn of my existence? Liu Ying didn't say much, silently producing a picture of Wu Ting. As he handed it over, he slowly explained. Old Li, the physician treating Miss Su, mentioned you. Speaking of which, Wu Ting is now a member of our Spirit Tool Association. She has officially joined. Rest assured, these people don't have any malicious intentions. After everyone settled down, he continued with a proposition. Young friend, have you truly not considered joining us? Lin Tian skillfully declined old Liu's invitation. I am afraid. Now is not the right time for me to join any organization. The young man continued to express his viewpoint. For now, I want to focus on my personal cultivation. Once the spiritual energy within my body is fully restored, then I will consider other matters. Lung Yu unexpectedly spoke up, interrupting Lin Tian. I know you excelled as the highest ranking awakened, a truly admirable feat. However, let me be clear about something. Your entry into the initial spirit realm was merely a stroke of luck. Without the association's meticulous guidance, could you have possibly navigated the treacherous path to the Courage Spring realm? That remains an unanswered question. She continued, explaining that Earth's future held unforeseen turmoil. When that time comes, cultivating spiritual chi will be humanity's sole path to survival, its only escape. If you truly desire enduring strength, unwavering power, then the association's guidance is indispensable to your cultivation journey. Initially, I shared your current mindset. confident in my ability to awaken effortlessly. Arrogantly, I refused the association's offer of collaboration. Consequently, for nearly 3 agonizing years, I stagnated, unable to reach the threshold of the initial spirit realm. But after joining the association, in less than a year, I achieved a breakthrough, finally entering the coveted initial spirit realm. It was all thanks to the association's invaluable support. She could have broken through to the second stage of the Yongquan realm in just 3 short years. He added, 3 years? How old is your sister now? Lin Tian inquired. 3 years? And how old is your little sister currently? She replied, she's about to turn 21. Is there a problem? A dismissive thought crossed Lin Tian's mind. Your sister's talent is truly mediocre. Forget it. It's not worth my time. I shouldn't say things that could harm our unity, he chided himself internally. But outwardly, Lin Tian maintained a complimentary smile. It's nothing. I just think she's a rare talent, that's all. Flattered by the praise, Lung Yu continued to boast. Everyone in our cultivation association is exceptionally talented. Being a genius is just the basic requirement to join. Luing spoke up. Young friend, once you join our association, you'll receive immense support. A sudden ringtone interrupted Luing, causing him to stand abruptly. Excuse me, young friend, I have an important call. He answered the phone and asked, what is it? Suddenly, a panicked voice erupted from the other end of the line. Chairman, a level 2 variant beast has just appeared. It's only 30 kilometers from your city. The chairman gasped. What? Level 2? We're at attributes. The voice on the other end replied. We haven't confirmed yet, but initial estimations suggest it might possess poison attributes. The variant beast's true form is a gigantic python. He barked out orders. Understood. Immediately lock down the entire surrounding area. Lingwei and I will be there shortly. Yes, sir. Oh, and please continue to apologize to Lin Tian. The chairman turned to Lin Tian, his face apologetic. I'm truly sorry, young friend, but something urgent has come up. Let's continue our conversation another time. Lin Tian watched as the 2 figures hurried away, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts. He silently vowed, in this life, I will become stronger. Only then can I avoid repeating the mistakes and regrets of my past life. I won't let tragedy strike again. A complex expression flickered across Lin Tian's eyes, a whirlwind of thoughts behind them. He fell silent, lost in contemplation, assessing his current abilities. I'm probably at the early stage of the Yongquan realm, he mused internally. It seems the path to further advancement will be fraught with peril, anything but easy. Lin Tian opened his phone, searching for information on places where fire attribute spiritual energy still lingered. The sudden ringing of his phone startled him. Daddy phone, Vaff, I am scared. A child's voice cried out in terror. Lin Tian frowned, irritation prickling his skin. He barked, stop it, Tian. Why aren't you asleep? What are you doing making such a racket in the middle of the night? A frantic voice on the other end pleaded. Brother Lin, help me. My villa, it's haunted. Lin Tian exploded. Are you crazy? Haunted? What era are we living in? You still believe in that nonsense? The voice on the other end insisted. Brother Lin, I'm serious. I'm not lying. The mountain behind my villa has been struck by lightning all day, but not a single drop of rain has fallen. Skepticism clouded Lin Tian's face. He could hardly believe what he was hearing. Could it be this little guy has awakened his spirit chi? Is the lightning attribute spirit chi truly that rare? He hurried along, not forgetting to ask the young Tianpeng, tell me exactly what happened. How did the lightning strike you? Look outside, Tianpeng. It's terrifying. The sky is pitch black, clouds swirling, thunder booming. Tianpeng's voice trembled. It was completely dark at my house, pitch black, and the lightning just kept striking nonstop. Brother Lin, save me, Lin Tian declared with certainty. There's no mistake. This is definitely the phenomenon of awakening the lightning attribute spirit chi. Spirit chi is divided into 3 classes. Common, water, fire, wind, earth. Rare, ice, light, darkness, lightning. Legendary, void. As he ran, he thought to himself, if I could possess this lightning attribute, I'd be rich. Then he yelled into the phone, Tianpeng, I'm coming right away. I'll seal off that mountain. No one will be allowed near it. Do you understand? Tianpeng gasped in astonishment. Good heavens, someone actually made it to this desolate wasteland. Meanwhile, in a different location, A woman with a stern expression addressed the two men standing before her. "Gentlemen, let us embark on this crucial mission together." The man with shimmering golden hair looked excited and eagerly asked, "Lady Knight, where are we headed?" Recently, a mountain suddenly awakened, emitting incredibly powerful lightning attribute spiritual energy. Our mission is to gather 10 portions, all of the lightning attribute spiritual energy produced by the mountain, before a catastrophic disaster spreads. Lin Tian cautiously moved forward, his flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. He looked up at the night sky, thunder booming and lightning flash. Excitement bubbled within him as he thought, "It really is lightning attribute spiritual energy. I'm going to be rich." He started adjusting his device, increasing the intensity of the lightning system. Suddenly, a notification popped up. "Alert! Lightning attribute is a rare attribute. The required spiritual energy will be double that of common attributes. Are you sure you want to continue?" Confirm/cancel appeared on the screen. The system announced, "Preparing the lightning attribute cultivation technique for the host. Please wait a moment. Congratulations to the host for receiving a blue rank lightning attribute cultivation technique." Ben Lei Ju, Lin Tian murmured, reading the name. As expected of a rare attribute. Although it's only a blue quality technique, its power is truly terrifying. Lightning attribute spiritual energy, come to me. At that moment, a massive bolt of lightning struck where Li Qi stood. Her two companions voiced their concern. "Sister, are you sure she can handle this?" "Yes, sister. Is the quality of that thermos really good enough?" Li Qi took the thermos from him and replied, "Quiet down, give it to me." She sighed and then began drawing the lightning spiritual energy into the thermos. Bolts of lightning were continuously absorbed into the thermos. Her two companions cheered her on, shouting encouragement with unrestrained enthusiasm. Despite her masterful control of the spiritual weapon, a suspicious crack suddenly appeared on the surface of the vase. Li Qi felt a surge of unease, a worried thought flashing through his mind. What's happening? How can such a powerful surge of spiritual energy be too much for the vase to handle? Her friends' voices cut through the air, sharp with warning. "Look out. The vase is about to explode. Big sis, be careful." A bolt of lightning crashed down, more ferocious and terrifying than before. Panic seized the trio. "Run. It's too dangerous." The flow of spiritual energy spiraled out of control. And then suddenly, a young man with raven black hair spoke. The other two whipped their heads around, following the sound. What was that? Lin Tian's appearance stunned Li Qi. There's no way an ordinary person could, she thought to herself. She waved her arms frantically, shouting, "Hey kid, what are you doing up here on a mountain? This is incredibly dangerous. It's no place for ordinary people." Lin Tian seemed oblivious to her warning. He let out a whoop of excitement. "I made it." The other three gasped in unison, watching Lin Tian throw himself into the heart of the raging thunderstorm. The two young men gasped in horror. "He's done for. He's dead. Oh God, what? What in the world is he doing? How could he do something so reckless? Did he get dumped and now he's trying to off himself?" A ferocious bolt of lightning suddenly cracked down, striking Lin Tian directly. "Ugh!" The two onlookers stared, speechless, their eyes wide with disbelief. "Holy," one stammered. "Holy crap, he's that tough? I don't believe it. Is he some kind of immortal being?" Li Qi, equally astonished, spoke up. "How can he be completely unharmed? Could it be he's awakened the ultra-rare lightning spirit root? Such extraordinary power." Amidst absorbing the lightning's spiritual energy, Lin Tian's voice boomed with power. "You want me to kneel before you? Don't even dream of it." He gritted his teeth, declaring with fierce determination, "From this day forward, the heavens will no longer obscure my vision, and the earth will no longer bind my heart. I want all beings to understand my will. I want the Buddhas themselves to tremble before me." Lin Tian roared, "In this life, I will become the strongest." A earth-shattering roar erupted as his body blazed with light, overflowing with surging thunderous spiritual energy. "Kulme." Lin Tian hovered in midair, a godlike figure, successfully absorbing the abundant spiritual qi. He felt unparalleled power coursing through his veins, murmuring, "I never imagined it would be this potent." A sudden notification popped up from the system. "Congratulations, host. You have received 2 special attributes. They are thunder and fire. Do you wish to fuse these two spiritual energies? A once-in-a-millennium opportunity to possess legendary attribute spiritual chi, Thunderflame. Without hesitation, Lin Tian immediately responded, "Fuse! Fuse them now!" He reveled in the sensation of terrifying power surging through his body. Is this the power of the legendary attribute spiritual chi? Unbelievable! I actually possess such terrifying energy. Meanwhile, in a deserted factory hidden deep within the city, Lung Yu and two teammates stood before a rusty iron door, their expressions grave. One of them spoke, his voice low. According to the information we gathered, the monstrous beast lurking inside is a gigantic python, possesses the Yin attribute. Lung Yu calmly replied, "Understood." She thought to herself, the Yin attribute, huh? This mission might be trickier than I anticipated. She then handed each of them a jade pendant, instructing, if you encounter danger, immediately crush this pendant. It will generate a protective shield, imbued with the Guang attribute, the attribute of light, which can help you survive. She seriously emphasized, safety is paramount. Returning alive is the utmost priority. Absolutely no recklessness, no unnecessary risks. Understood. Both of them answered in unison. Yes, ma'am. Lung Yu commanded. Move out. All three swiftly entered. Upon entering, they were met with a pair of menacing red eyes gleaming in the darkness. Lung Yu reacted instantly. Incoming. She swiftly pulled her teammates aside, her voice sharp with warning. Careful! A gigantic python lunged at them with terrifying speed. The other two unleashed their weapons simultaneously, freezing the monster solid in a single strike. They cheered, "We got it!" But Lung Yu's voice was filled with dread. Danger! Run! The colossal serpent shrugged off the trio's attack, swiftly turning the tables with a ferocious counterstrike. A chorus of pained groans erupted from the three warriors. Their minds began to fade, consciousness slipping into a murky haze. With a last burst of strength, Lung Yu contacted headquarters, her voice a desperate whisper. Headquarters? Giant serpent. But the beast's overwhelming power proved too much, and she succumbed to darkness, collapsing unconscious. The monstrous serpent slithered forward, slowly advancing on its motionless prey. Lu Ying's weak voice pleaded with Lin Tian. "Young brother, please save us." He struggled to continue. "Only you can stop this menace, save us from this disaster." Lin Tian focused, analyzing the information about the colossal serpent in his mind. He thought, dark attribute, another rare attribute. He lamented silently. What a shame. If only my attribute slots weren't full, I would definitely subdue it. Lu Ying continued anxiously. That girl Lung Yu, we don't know if she's dead or alive. Our only hope now lies with the one who awakened the fire attribute. Young man. Lin Tian furrowed his brow, probing Director Lu. Director Lu, how did you know I awakened a fire attribute? The director scratched his head, a friendly smile spreading across his face. I had Lung Yu discreetly observing you. She witnessed you eliminate that mutated dog with her own eyes. Lin Tian thought to himself, so they deliberately released that dog. Irritation flared. You had me followed? He pressed. Director Lu calmly explained. I did it for the safety of this city's citizens. Lin Tian proposed. I'll agree to go to the factory and eliminate that monstrous serpent, but you have to promise me you'll stop having me followed. The director clapped his hands together in agreement. Deal. You have my word, young friend. How many people do you need for support? I'll dispatch them immediately. Lin Tian answered as he walked away. I don't need anyone. I'm more than enough to handle whatever's in this factory alone. Lung Hanuet slowly regained consciousness, awakened by a terrified scream. No, she murmured unconsciously. The python was undergoing a grotesque transformation. A thick, noxious gas filled the air. Lung Hanuet thought, observing the creature before her. A gigantic python. Could it evolve by devouring the energy of cultivators? She struggled to her feet, rapidly assessing how to deal with the monster. She couldn't allow it to complete its evolution. Absolutely not. Otherwise, the people living nearby would face a devastating catastrophe, an unimaginable horror. The giant python seemed to sense her presence. It lunged at her with terrifying speed, jaws agape, intending to swallow her whole. Lung Hanuet charged forward to meet the attack, yelling. She was ready to fight to the death, determined to destroy the beast. Lung Hanuet unleashed a powerful attack, but it was useless against the python's steel-hard scales. Instead, the ice armor around her shattered. Lung Yu gasped, her mind reeling. Impossible. How could this be happening? The colossal serpent lashed out with its tail, sending Lung Yu flying. She coughed up blood, pain searing through her as a terrifying thought struck her. It can't be. It's fully evolved. The monstrous serpent slowly slithered towards her, its shadow engulfing Lung Yu like a living nightmare. Despair welled up within her. Is this the end? I can't stop this monster. Outside the factory, Lin Tian strolled in, muttering to himself. Good heavens, I just realized something. This dilapidated, abandoned factory. Isn't this where I used to work? Right after high school. That old geezer who owned this place still owes me a month's wages. This is ridiculous. Unbelievably ridiculous. In that desperate moment, Lung Yu weakly called out Lin Tian. Lin Tian appeared before her. Strapped to his back was a high-tech weapon of his own creation. Lin Tian spoke. Director Liu just instructed me to get everyone out. Where's everyone? Ling Shui frantically warned. Run. It's dangerous. You can't defeat it. That monster has evolved to Tier 3. Lin Tian nonchalantly waved his hand, seemingly unconcerned by her words. Good, very good. I understand. The person who needs rescuing should just wait patiently. Don't run around. He looked at the gigantic python and said coldly, let's see what you're capable of. The python roared furiously and lunged at Lin Tian with terrifying speed. Ling Shui screamed, Lin Tian, run. It's too strong. Lin Tian unleashed earth-shattering power, thunder and lightning ripping through the night sky. He charged forward, delivering a devastating blow to the python. Before it could react, the python was sent flying. Ling Shui gasped, utterly stunned. The python writhed in pain, desperately trying to escape. Ling Shui shouted urgently, Lin Tian, don't let it get away. He drew his sword, replying calmly, don't worry, it won't escape today. Lin Tian gripped his sword tightly, his other hand gliding along the razor-sharp blade, channeling power into it. A cold smirk played on his lips as he uttered words of absolute authority and power. Lin Tian swung his sword, the giant serpent roaring in agony as the blade struck. The young man sheathed his sword with a swift, decisive motion. The matter was settled. Lung Yu stared at him, astonishment etched on her face. You, she began. Could it be? You've already awakened your attribute. Lin Tian thought to himself, based on the memories I've gained. Then, this Spirit Cultivation Association hasn't seemed to do anything truly evil. They appear rather righteous. They only help ordinary people, assisting them through difficult times, their darkest moments. So, perhaps telling them wouldn't be a problem. He didn't hesitate, frankly admitting, yes, I have awakened 2 attributes, fire and lightning. Lung Yu was utterly stunned. She knew with absolute certainty that this young man was destined for greatness, a figure who would stand above all others. That night, she immediately reported everything to Lu Ying, her director. Lin Tian admitted it himself. She continued, a sense of urgency in her voice. The young man had awakened 2 incredibly powerful attributes, lightning and fire. Lu Ying pondered for a moment, then slowly replied, now I understand why he asked us to stop following him. He smiled knowingly. A rare talent like this must be recruited into the Spirit Cultivation Association. Director, should we continue to monitor him? He replied to the young woman with a cryptic statement. Perhaps you should start looking for a boyfriend yourself. Inside the association's meeting room, a voice rang out. Director Liu, regarding the revival of the spirit instruments, should we make this matter public? Another person spoke up. Recently, unusual events have been increasing. The situation seems to be spiraling out of control. We can't keep dismissing these incidents as accidents. Could there be a force behind all of this? From the opposite side, a voice sharply objected. Are you all insane? To rush to publicize this kind of news. Do you have any idea how severe the consequences will be? We'll be facing a mountain of trouble, not just a few criticisms. This isn't something we can just talk our way out of. Shaoli retorted, how can you even bring this up? If we had announced yesterday's unusual spiritual energy fluctuation, the incident at the factory, we would have had ample time to evacuate the residents and prevent the tragedy. The other person immediately countered. The factory incident, didn't we handle it perfectly in the end? The two began to bicker fiercely, their voices rising. You call that handling it? Laughable. If those kids hadn't stepped in, you would have caused a catastrophe. Making a phone call and reporting it is what you consider resolving the issue. What the hell are you talking about? Lu interrupted. All right, both of you, stop arguing. The two immediately fell silent. Director Lu, he said, raising a hand to calm everyone down. Xiaoli, calm down, have a seat. You're absolutely right. If it weren't for that young man last night. Lin Tian, stepping in to help. The pain of losing my daughter and loyal subordinates isn't mine alone to bear. Innocent residents in the surrounding areas are also facing immense danger. Lu Ying continued, his voice heavy with concern. However, as some of us have previously mentioned, if we hastily reveal the truth about the spiritual qi revival to the public, about the resurgence of spiritual energy, the consequences will undoubtedly be widespread chaos and societal collapse. Therefore, allow me to propose a solution. He approached the projector screen, pointing to the marked locations. These areas I've circled on the map are where recent spiritual qi revival phenomena have been recorded. We can select these areas as pilot locations for conducting necessary experiments. We can promote these areas as attractive tourist destinations. Then, we'll observe and evaluate the effects before deciding on our next steps. What are your thoughts on this proposal? Everyone in the meeting room nodded in agreement. All right, we'll proceed with Director Lu's proposal and work together to implement this plan. As expected of Director Lu, your foresight is truly admirable. You always have brilliant solutions for even the most complex problems. Lu Ying pulled out another file, continuing his presentation. If there are no further comments, let's move on to the next matter. Everyone fell silent, awaiting the new proposal. As you all know, yesterday, we witnessed the extraordinary abilities of young Lin Tian. I propose we invite him to join the Spirit Cultivation Association. Lin Tian's profile was projected onto the large screen. Lu Ying continued, her voice firm and resolute. I nominate him for the position of Cultivation Team Captain. What are your thoughts on this proposal? The members began to murmur, many expressing disapproval. One person spoke up, Director Lu. I don't object to Lin Tian joining the association. However, granting him such an important position immediately upon joining, isn't that a bit too preferential? Many nodded in agreement. Indeed, there's no precedent for this. Being appointed deputy minister right off the bat, he needs to undergo training from the ground up. Lu Ying remained steadfast, continuing to support Lin Tian. His true abilities, everyone witnessed them firsthand yesterday. He awakened with two rare attributes, lightning and fire. I'm afraid that if we assign him too low a position, not only will he be dissatisfied, but it would be a grave mistake to offend someone with such extraordinary potential. They conceded, replying, if Director Lu puts it that way, then we respectfully request Director Lu to arrange an ability assessment for him. The others agreed with this proposal. Indeed, let's organize a competency evaluation for him to assume the position of cultivation team captain. Possessing strength alone isn't sufficient. Lu Ying appeared quite surprised by this suggestion. He warned, oh, these are your own words. Don't come crying to me when you regret this. The next morning, at Lin Tian's apartment, he was sound asleep when he was abruptly awakened by a strange noise. Could it be a burglar breaking into the house? Lin Tian, enraged, rushed outside. Lin Tian muttered to himself as he walked. Damn it, I'm so broke. I'm eating the cheapest instant noodles, and some bastard still dares to steal from me. Just wait if I catch him. I'll teach him a lesson he'll never forget. Show him some respect. He flung the door open, roaring at the impudent thief. Hey you, get down on your knees and apologize. Lung Yu, who was cleaning the house, looked up and greeted him. Hello, Lin Tian. Lin Tian reflexively returned the greeting, but then he exclaimed in astonishment. Wait a minute, what are you doing in my house? He demanded, didn't you say yesterday you wouldn't follow me anymore? Continuing to clean, Lung Yu calmly explained. I'm not here to follow you. I'm here to live with you. She paused, then asked, where's the trash can? Lin Tian's jaw dropped, his eyes wide with shock. He quickly found a place to sit down and asked her, you mean you want me to participate in that challenge game of yours? Lung Yu replied curtly, yeah. Lin Tian silently calculated the time, anxiety rising within him. In just 3 days, spiritual energy would erupt on a global scale, an unprecedented catastrophe. He couldn't waste precious time on some pointless test. He flatly refused. "I'm not going. I have no interest in this." Lung Yu spoke up diplomatically, trying to persuade Lin Tian to change his mind. "I understand what you're thinking, Lin Tian," she said sincerely. "You must think this test will interrupt your cultivation. But in reality, this is an important trial, meticulously prepared by the Special Association for all cultivators." She paused briefly, then continued. "It's not just for new members. This test is for everyone. Moreover, the location of this trial has recently shown signs of spiritual energy resurgence, a very special phenomenon. Although the spiritual energy level isn't too high, it's very possible that rare opportunities are hidden there. You shouldn't miss out." Lung Yu's words inadvertently reminded Lin Tian of matters related to Su Yuding. A thought suddenly flashed through his mind. It seems Yuding has also joined this organization. He spoke, his tone hesitant. "I want to ask you something. Is Su Yuding participating in this trial?" Lung Yu replied, "She'll be there." "What?" Lin Tian suddenly remembered something. "I recall her mentioning a significant opportunity she encountered there. I wonder what it could be." Lin Tian pondered aloud. He abruptly changed his mind. "I think I'll go check it out." His voice took on a knowing tone. "As it happens, I have something to discuss with her." "I'll participate in this trial," Lin Tian declared firmly. The day of the trial quickly approached. The other participants were gathered, listening intently to the announcement. "You've likely grown accustomed to the current peace." Luing began his speech. "But I must warn you, this entire world will soon descend into chaos. Death will become commonplace, an inescapable part of life." He continued his address. "In a moment, I will introduce you to a cultivator possessing formidable spiritual energy, who will serve as your captain and lead you in this trial." The talented Go player was lost in thought, her mind fixated on Lin Tian. Where had that enigmatic man vanished to? Memories of the events from a few days prior flooded back. She recalled the report she'd given to her superiors, her voice grave. "I swear, I witnessed someone awaken their supernatural abilities with my own eyes. Their entire body radiated a brilliant aura, but her audience had been skeptical, their expressions doubtful. How could a cultivator possess such potent spiritual energy? You must be mistaken." Tian Fong's voice broke through her reverie, laced with teasing. "Sister Qi, what are you so deep in thought about?" She lowered her eyelids, her response indifferent. "Nothing. I'm wondering what kind of person our new captain will be." He responded with a scoff, his displeasure evident. Captain. Probably just another rich, spoiled brat here to coast along. Just going through the motions, waiting to go home." He declared loudly, arrogance dripping from his voice. "Just you wait. When that punk arrives, I'll teach him a lesson he won't soon forget. He'll learn who really runs things around here." His 2 lackeys cheered and applauded wildly. "Boss, you're amazing. Absolutely incredible." Li Qi warned, "I suggest you know your place and stop causing trouble." Elsewhere, Lung Yu was diligently briefing Lin Tian. "This is Squad 5, which you'll be commanding. There are 5 members in total, 2 women and 3 men. He observed, aside from Su Yuding, who possesses the rare ice attribute, the rest have fairly common attributes. She gave him a word of caution. "You need to be particularly mindful of Lu Tianfang. He used to be a gangster in the underworld. He suddenly awakened to spiritual energy with a powerful wind attribute. However, his personality hasn't changed. He's very rebellious and difficult to control." Lin Tian replied indifferently. "Understood." Luing greeted Lin Tian with a shout. "Attention, your captain has arrived." Yuding gasped. "Could it be he's the one my father mentioned, the one who saved my life?" Surprisingly, Li Qi agreed with Wu Qing's perspective. "Exactly, that young man was struck by lightning on a mountaintop that day." Lu Ying introduced him. "This is your captain." Lin Tian was about to continue, but Tian Fong quickly interrupted him. "Hold on a moment." He shot a questioning look at Lin Tian. "Lu Tianfang, do you have something you'd like to ask?" Tian Fong addressed Director Lu. "Director Lu, just how strong is this kid? Could he perhaps show us a few of his moves? If he can't prove his abilities, how can we truly be convinced?" Lin Tian spoke with a hint of sarcasm. "Oh, and how do you propose he demonstrates himself?" Tian Fong flashed a confident smile. "Naturally, he'll have to spar a bit with the men here." Lin Tian glanced at Tian Fong with disdain. "A mediocre talent at the first level of the Yongquan realm like you wants to challenge me." Tian Fong erupted in fury, his power surging as he roared. "You brat, you want to die?" Harnessing the power of the wind, he lunged forward with blinding speed. Lin Tian narrowed his eyes, asking with contempt, "Is that all you've got?" It was Lu Ying who intercepted Tian Fong's attack. He sternly questioned Tian Fong. "Lu Tianfong, how dare you defy the organization?" Startled, Tianfong stumbled back a step. He bowed obsequiously to Director Lu. "This subordinate would never dare," he stammered. "However, to lead a squad, one must possess genuine skill." He subtly incited the onlookers. Otherwise, it's hard for those under his command to truly respect and obey. The crowd erupted in agreement. "He's right, Director Lu. We cultivators value strength above all else. It's only natural. If the new squad leader lacks the necessary ability, it will be difficult to command respect and obedience." Lu Ying quickly interjected, defending Lin Tian's capabilities. "There's no need for concern. Just a few days ago, he single-handedly defeated the ferocious Dark Serpent and rescued Lung Yu." Li Qi gasped. "What? He rescued Sister Lung all by himself?" Tian Fong remained skeptical. "Impossible. He must have just gotten lucky. The Dark Serpent is incredibly powerful. Defeated by just one person? Preposterous." He abruptly ended the discussion with a booming command. "Enough. Everyone, stand at attention. Anyone who dares to cause further disruption, defy the rules, or challenge my authority will be expelled from this guild immediately. I expect everyone to comply without question. Now, I will announce the details of the trial. Listen carefully. Your task is to eliminate a ferocious creature known as the Jingjiao Beast. According to the information we've gathered, this creature not only possesses a humanoid form, but also boasts incredible speed and agility. Before you embark on this perilous trial, I must issue a critical warning. You may have been under the illusion that this world is safe, but I must shatter that naive belief with a harsh truth." His voice dropped, his expression hardening. "Once you step onto the thorny path of cultivation, death becomes your constant companion, a shadow lurking at your heels." Lin Tian's group swiftly arrived at the designated location. He scanned his surroundings, carefully assessing the situation. "This is definitely the location specified in the mission briefing," he confirmed. "But where's the monster?" He wondered aloud, a hint of suspicion in his voice. "Could it be hiding underground?" Yu Qing spoke hesitantly, her voice trembling slightly. "Captain Lin, do we really need to go through that area?" she asked anxiously. "Over there. It looks like there's a tree emitting a strange light." Lin Tian furrowed his brow, deep in thought. "The spiritual energy grows stronger the closer we get to the tree. That's unusual. But what's puzzling is, why haven't we found any trace of the monster yet?" Bureau Chief Lu, who had been silent until now, finally spoke. "To ensure everyone's safety, we shouldn't risk getting too close to that enormous tree," he suggested cautiously. Lin Tian gave a firm order. "Everyone, continue searching for clues about the monster around this area. Be careful." The two girls replied in unison, "Yes, Captain Lin." In contrast, the three men began to taunt Lin Tian. "Captain Lin, are you scared?" one of them provoked. "Or are you afraid that huge tree will suddenly spring out of the ground and attack you?" Another chimed in sarcastically. The remaining underling immediately joined in the mockery. "Ah, how ridiculous. Look-a." Lin Tian's expression remained unchanged as he calmly replied, "I warned you. If you stubbornly refuse to listen to reason, then you must bear the consequences yourself." Fong Tian and his two subordinates stormed off, sneering. "I'd like to see what kind of demons and monsters are lurking over there." They stopped before an ancient tree, muttering, "Could this enormous tree be some kind of rare treasure? Why is it radiating such potent spiritual energy?" One of the underlings suggested, "Boss, the spiritual energy here is incredibly rich and abundant. If we cultivate here, we'll definitely break through our current realms and level up quickly." Hearing this, ambition ignited within Fong Tian. "If I absorb all the spiritual energy here and successfully break through to the third level of the Yongquan realm, then even Lung Yu will have to obey me." He envisioned himself surrounded by countless beautiful women, a cunning smile spreading across his face as he said, "Brothers, while the spiritual energy is abundant, let's begin cultivating immediately." Meanwhile, Wu Ting anxiously asked Captain Lin, could they be in danger? He reassured her, replying, "Don't worry. If anything happens, I'll intervene." Li Qi spoke up, asking Captain Lin Tian, "Haven't we met before?" Captain Lin, Lin Tian replied with surprise. Really? I don't have any recollection of that. Where could we have met? Li Qi asked expectantly. I remember. It was on that mountain that got struck by lightning the other day. I remember now, she exclaimed. Lin Tian's memory clicked into place. Oh, it was you. So that's where we met. He asked curiously. Were you there for a picnic that day? Li Qi became slightly irritated and quickly corrected him. A picnic? What picnic? She explained. I was dispatched to handle a spiritual energy surge on a mountaintop. Li Qi vented her frustration at Lin Tian. It's all your fault, Captain Lin. I was lectured for hours by my superiors. Because of this, she continued to reproach him. I told them that a man absorbed the lightning's spiritual energy, but they insisted I was dreaming. Lin Tian could only stammer, apologies, I've taken him to a different location. You two should settle down and begin your cultivation. The spiritual energy here is so abundant. It would be a shame to waste it. Wu Ting asked with concern. Aren't you cultivating with us? Lin Tian smiled, thinking to himself, she's still as kind and gentle as she was in her past life. He replied to her, the spiritual energy here isn't compatible with my attributes. You ladies should focus on your cultivation for now. The two girls nodded. Then, if you'll excuse us. Suddenly, a desperate cry for help shattered the tranquil atmosphere. Big brother, help me. Lin Tian and the two girls were startled, exchanging shocked glances. The ancient tree, previously brimming with spiritual energy, had abruptly transformed into a ferocious beast. It launched a fierce attack on Tianfang's group. A terrified subordinate trembled, stammering in terror. What's happening? This branch, how is it moving? One of his underlings, caught by the beast, screamed in despair. Big brother, save me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. He quickly summoned his spiritual energy and shouted, I'm here to help. With that, Tianfang charged forward, determined to assist the other person. He unleashed a powerful punch, but it didn't inflict any damage. He gritted his teeth, confusion and bewilderment etched on his face. How can this be? He wondered. Another voice rang out, a warning, brother, watch your left. Dronzer. Tianfang reflexively glanced to his left, but it was too late. He couldn't dodge in time. He took the full brunt of the tree demon's brutal attack. Liu Ying's words echoed in his ears like a warning bell. When you step onto this treacherous path of cultivation, death will always be a shadow, inseparable, a constant companion. It was no wonder director Liu had spoken such bitter words. Tianfang collapsed, a bleak thought flashing through his mind. Could this be where I die? The monstrous tree demon advanced, preparing to deliver the final blow. Suddenly, a terrifying force erupted, ripping the grotesque creature apart. Tianfang struggled to sit up, stammering, Who are you? Lin Tian stood before him, his voice cold and commanding. Go, now, don't hesitate. Tianfang resolutely shook his head, refusing to leave. I can't just abandon my brothers and run. Lin Tian replied, a hint of admiration in his voice. Seems like you value loyalty and brotherhood. He continued, his tone laced with sarcasm. What nonsense are you spouting? A man's gotta live by his word, by his code. Loyalty and honor above all else. Lin Tian swiftly grabbed a short dagger, thinking to himself, I need to infuse this dagger with thunderfire elemental energy. The dagger quickly filled with lightning spiritual energy, radiating a powerful aura. Tianfang suddenly asked, What are you doing? Lin Tian hurled the dagger forward. The person bound by the tree demon was released, yelling in astonishment. Big brother. Captain Lin, thank you both for saving me. Lin Tian's unexpected attack not only successfully rescued the victim, but also made the tree demon roar in pain. Hurry, go now, Lin Tian shouted, urging everyone. This monster is about to reveal its true form. The ground suddenly shook violently. Everyone stumbled, struggling to stand, and exclaimed in terror, What's happening? Earthquake! The ancient tree sprang to life, transforming into a colossal Yu-Hun tree demon, its power surging to the third level of the Yongquan realm. Tianfang's jaw dropped, his voice a panicked whisper. This monstrous creature, what in the world is it? Lin Tian, who had been discreetly channeling his spiritual energy, spoke up, his voice a calm warning. Have you forgotten Director Liu's words? This path of cultivation is fraught with peril. 9 parts death, 1 part life. I will continue to fight. If you fear death, leave this path now. The tree demon roared furiously, charging towards Lin Tian. Lin Tian nimbly dodged the attack, launching a counteroffensive in the same fluid motion. With effortless grace, Lin Tian evaded another of the tree demon's attacks. The monster pressed its relentless assault. Countless massive branches, sharp as spears, thrust towards Lin Tian. Lin Tian muttered under his breath, conjuring a blazing fire shield that intercepted the attack. Flames raced along the branches, igniting a raging inferno that surged towards the tree demon. A spectacular counterattack. Flames engulfed the tree demon's body. Lin Tian focused his power, his expression cold as he unleashed the Thunder Flame fist technique. The devastating blow ripped through the tree demon's body, leaving a gaping hole. The monster howled in agony. Tian Fong gasped, utterly stunned. Damn, he's that powerful. Strange and astonishing, almost beyond belief. This was the earth-shattering power of someone who had awakened the lightning element. Wu Ting unconsciously looked towards him, eyes filled with awe. Lin Tian hovered in midair like a god. Surrounded by swirling lightning and fire spiritual energy, Wu Ting thought to herself, surely the legendary heroes, the great figures of the past, also possess the ability to fly and walk on clouds. Lin Tian's current image certainly seemed to fit that description. Meanwhile, at the association headquarters, everyone was in an uproar. This Lin Tian, does he really possess such terrifying power? Director Liu spoke up, breaking the tense silence. Does anyone have any further objections to appointing Lin Tian as captain? No one dared to object. Embarrassed, they replied, none, Director. We fully agree with your decision. Just then, a powerful tremor suddenly struck. Everyone panicked. What was that? An earthquake? Lung Yu anxiously asked Director Liu. This spiritual energy, could it be? Lu Ying replied, his expression grave. It seems this can no longer be hidden. He's letting Earth's vital energy had fully recovered, brimming with life force. The world order stood on the precipice of a monumental shift. Lin Tian stood before the colossal demon tree, lost in contemplation, analyzing the situation. He recalled Yu Qing's words from his past life. This place holds a great opportunity, a heaven-sent fortune. But wasn't she an ice element cultivator? Lin Tian wondered. This monstrous tree clearly possesses pure wood element energy. Suddenly, a surge of potent spiritual energy materialized before them, radiating an ethereal glow. Lin Tian, momentarily stunned, suddenly grasped the situation. I see, he thought. A thought sparked in his mind. Because Earth's vital energy has completely recovered, he reasoned, this place is now generating incredibly potent ice element spiritual energy. In my past life, Yu Qing's cultivation was limited, her power insufficient. So she couldn't absorb this pure spiritual energy. That's why she said those words. Lin Tian finally understood. Curious team members approached, observing the strange phenomenon. Yu Qing spoke, her voice filled with admiration. Captain Lin is truly amazing, omnipotent. With a single punch, he caused the surrounding spiritual energy to erupt so fiercely. Lin Tian turned to instructor. Yu Qing, enter that cave, he pointed, and absorb the intensely erupting ice element spiritual energy within. These spiritual energies possess the ability to significantly amplify her power. Without hesitation, the young woman accepted the assistance offered by Lin Tian and Wu Qing. In this lifetime, both of us must ascend to become true powerhouses, forcing the adulterous couple who wronged us in our past lives to pay a heavy price. Lin Tian declared solemnly to everyone, this place converges an incredibly potent source of ice attribute spiritual energy. And coincidentally, Wu Qing has just awakened her ice attribute. Therefore, I've allowed her to seize this opportunity to cultivate here. Let's patiently wait for her a little longer. Everyone unanimously agreed. That night, a grand feast was held. Lin Tian and everyone raised their glasses in celebration, toasting Wu Qing's successful breakthrough into the Yongquan realm. A spectacular leap, advancing directly from the first realm to the third Yongquan realm. Wu Qing returned the gesture with a smile. All of these achievements are thanks to Captain Lin's guidance and everyone's support. Tian Fong solemnly raised her cup, both hands respectfully clasped, sincerely thanking Lin Tian. Captain Lin, I was truly blind before, failing to recognize a true hero. I beg you to forgive my mistakes. Lin Tian replied gently. It's all right. In the face of death, you didn't abandon us, Enron. That proves you're a man of loyalty and courage, a true hero, a real man. Overjoyed, the three men shed tears of relief, shouting in unison. Captain Lin, thank you for not despising someone insignificant like me, for treating me as a friend. From this moment on, my life, Lu Tianfang's, is yours. Slightly embarrassed, Lin Tian replied. There's no need for that. From now on, we are brothers fighting side by side. Suddenly, an announcement blared. Everyone, evacuate this area immediately. The military appeared and began to evacuate the civilians. Please leave quickly. We have a mission to carry out here. We ask for your cooperation. Lin Tian observed the soldier, thinking to himself, he's no ordinary soldier. The aura he exudes, a powerful aura emanated from him, a palpable pressure filling the air. This was clearly a cultivated expert, someone with extraordinary abilities. However, shouldn't all matters concerning unusual spiritual energy fall under the jurisdiction and responsibility of Director Liu? Should we hold back for now? Wait a little longer? If this surge of spiritual energy is related to Li Qi and his companions, we could seize this opportunity to help them break through and enhance their powers. The soldier suddenly glanced at them, his eyes sharp and piercing. He strode towards them, his voice a warning. Hey, I'm talking to you. Get out of here immediately. Do you understand? Tian Fong slammed his hand on the table, fury erupting. Insolent. How dare you speak to my elder brother in that tone? Do you even know who he is? The soldier reacted instantly, thrusting his gun into Tian Fong's face, murderous intent blazing in his eyes. A cold voice rang out. Get lost, if you don't want to die. Undeterred, Tian Fong grabbed the soldier's weapon with one hand, while the spiritual energy within him stirred, ready to explode. Let's see what you've got then. 3 hours earlier, Lin Tian had ordered a ceasefire. Chaos erupted in the military command room, a cacophony of voices rising in panic. What do we do now? The sudden, complete restoration of spiritual energy had caught everyone off guard. Now, the most urgent matter was capturing the monstrous hound. I warned you all from the beginning, one exasperated voice boomed. We should have kept it under stricter surveillance. That creature is incredibly dangerous. It needed to be guarded more carefully. The highest-ranking commander bellowed, silencing the room. Quiet. Cease this bickering. This is not the time for arguing. He declared sternly. Our top priority is to apprehend that mutated beast. We absolutely cannot allow it to harm civilians. He then turned to a soldier, his voice sharp. Xiao Sun, I'm assigning you the task of capturing the mutated dog. Zheng Yi responded solemnly. Yes, sir. Ensure the mission is completed. The commander continued issuing orders. All soldiers, return to the border immediately. Spiritual energy has been fully restored, which means the boundary between the two worlds won't remain peaceful for much longer. Yes, and remind Zheng Yi. Xiao Sun must capture that mutated monster before sunrise. Understood? Yes. Quickly mobilize our personnel and issue the order. All residents in the eastern sector must evacuate immediately. That ferocious beast could appear at any moment. We can't let our guard down. Watching the surveillance feed intently, Zheng Yi spotted Lin Tian and his companions. No way, he thought. Why are they there at a time like this? Lin Tian was in the danger zone. He immediately ordered Tian Fong to cease all operations. Don't cause any more trouble for the military, he continued. The situation is already critical. Tian Fong respectfully replied, Yes, sir. Lin Tian addressed the soldier, blocking their path. We'll leave immediately. The soldier sneered, Huh? Good to see you lot finally understand. As they walked, Lin Tian explained the situation to the group. This afternoon, the spiritual energy erupted completely, spiraling out of control. From now on, we're about to face a world riddled with danger, incredibly harsh. Wu Ting, when you return, focus on your cultivation. Your cultivation base is still unstable, your foundation weak. You must train step by step, little by little. Never rush or be impatient. Persistence is key to success. Dongqing replied, Understood, Captain. I think I hear someone calling. Lin Tian. Little Lin. Little Lin excitedly replied, Old man, is that you? Zheng Yi approached, striking up a conversation. Little Lin, is that really you? It's been ages. Wu Ting asked curiously, Captain Lin, is that an acquaintance of yours? Lin Tian explained. This is my best friend from high school, Sun Jing. Zheng Yi slung an arm around Lin Tian, greeting Wu Ting and the others. Hello, everyone. I'm Lin Tian's godfather. Sun Jingyi glared at Lin Tian. Lin Tian, get it right, you ungrateful brat. Clearly, you're the obedient and well-behaved grandson who listens to me. Li Qi spoke up. Captain Lin, we'll take our leave then. We won't disturb your reunion with your old friend any longer. Tianfang chimed in. Exactly, boss. We'll take our leave now. After Tianfang's group left, Lin Tian and Zheng he continued their unfinished conversation. Kid, you're doing pretty well for yourself, aren't you? With these stripes, you must have accomplished some glorious feats. Huh? Zheng Yi laughed heartily in response to Lin Tian's praise. Xiao Linzi. Let me tell you a earth-shattering secret that was just declassified this afternoon. Lin Tian interrupted. Are you going to talk about the global spiritual energy recovery? Could I be right? That topic has been trending all afternoon. Zheng Yi leaned in close to Lin Tian and whispered, I knew you wouldn't believe it. Let me give you the real scoop. The real reason this road is blocked off is because there's a ferocious and incredibly powerful mutated dog lurking around here. Our team was deployed here with the critical mission of ensuring public safety. Lin Tian thought to himself, so that's it. But that mutated dog you just mentioned, could it be the one that escaped? During Lung Yu's earlier test run, a soldier reported to Captain Sun Jingyi. Report, all residents have been safely evacuated. Jingyi replied curtly. Excellent. Now we just wait for the wild wolf to walk right into our trap. Lin Tian had a clear plan in mind. We can also take this opportunity to assess the current combat capabilities of our troops. Putting thought into action, he said to his nephew, Lin Tian, let me survey the situation. Jingyi thought to himself. It's good for Xiao Linzi to face reality early on. Let him understand that the rules of this world have changed. Otherwise, with his kind nature, he's bound to suffer greatly. He then instructed Xiao Zhang, a soldier in his squad. Later, you'll escort him to the safe zone, outside the hunting perimeter. Let him witness the true strength of our squad. Yes, sir. The man led Lin Tian away, not forgetting to turn back and warn the young man. I don't care what kind of relationship you have with Captain Sun, but later, you must absolutely obey my orders. Understand? Lin Tian hastily replied, understood. Then thank you in advance. Reaching the combat zone, Lin Tian sat observing in a hidden corner, thinking to himself, although these soldiers are all equipped with guns, judging by the spiritual energy emanating from their bodies, their cultivation is probably only at the early stage of Yongquan realm. Overall, their strength isn't bad. He immediately heightened his vigilance, sensing the presence of mutated beasts. They're here. The warning signal was transmitted throughout the entire squad. Everyone attention, mutated hounds have appeared. In the distance, the eerie glow of the mutated hounds flickered. The mutated hound roared furiously, surrounded on all sides. The soldiers opened fire in unison, bullets finding their mark. But this beast was no easy opponent. A few powerful attacks sent them flying. Lin Tian, worried, quickly got to his feet. This horrifying mutated creature possessed strength at least equivalent to the third level of the Yongquan realm. Once spiritual energy starts to recover strongly, these terrifying creatures will emerge everywhere as easily as flipping a hand. It seems that starting tomorrow, I need to cultivate even more diligently. Zheng Yi gave a decisive order as he led the group forward. All regular soldiers, retreat immediately. All members of the special task force, follow me. Continue the command. Surround that monster. Use the black tortoise formation. Confine this beast for me. Yes, sir. One person quickly grabbed a part of the monster's body. The others launched their attacks simultaneously. The beast roared in pain. Roar, roar, roar. Zheng Yi leaped high into the air. He yelled, die, and unleashed a fatal blow straight down onto the monster's head. Lin Tian smiled with satisfaction. As expected of a regular army, well-trained and disciplined, although each of them only had a cultivation level, around the second level of the Yongquan realm. But amongst them existed an unbreakable trust, a willingness to lay down their lives for one another. This unwavering faith forged an extraordinary strength, pushing each of them beyond their limits. I was about to leave, but it seems my worries were completely unnecessary. It's only a matter of time before they eliminate that aberrant hound. But at that very moment, the aberrant hound suddenly reappeared. Its body underwent a violent transformation, radiating a terrifying aura. Lin Tian looked over, a sense of unease washing over him. Zhang Yi gasped in horror. This monster, it's trying to break through. He immediately barked out orders. Quickly deploy the formation. Contain it. We absolutely cannot allow it to evolve. Otherwise, we'll all die here. But they couldn't get close to the monster. They were all easily thrown back. When the terrifying aura dissipated, the aberrant hound had taken on a completely new form. Zhang Yi gasped in horror. We're doomed. The ferocious mutant hound snarled, baring its razor-sharp fangs at Zhang Yi. Already severely wounded, Zhang Yi clutched his injured arm, gritting his teeth in pain. Damn beast. It's actually evolved, he cursed. Captain, a worried voice shouted from behind. What do we do now? We have no choice but to fight to the death. We can't let it get past the U.S. and harm the civilians. Zhang Yi responded with a grim, determined expression. In the next instant, they all charged forward, echoing his commanding shout. Special Ops team, charge with me. Yes, Captain. The monster showed no fear, slashing its razor-sharp claws at the Special Ops team. They were sent flying, crashing hard to the ground. Zhang Yi struggled to raise his arms in defense. Those behind him watched with anxious faces, screaming. Captain, blood now streamed down his face. 0:0:1. The ferocious mutant beast, seizing the opportunity, lunged at Zhang Yi without hesitation. It prepared to unleash another deadly blow. Zhang Yi's life hung by a thread, precariously close to death. In this near-death experience, a thought drifted through his mind. Am I about to die? Just as his eyelids were about to close forever, a familiar figure suddenly appeared, shielding him. With a single hand, Lin Tian effortlessly blocked the mutant beast's razor-sharp claws. Zhang Yi weakly murmured his friend's name. Lin Tian. Lin Tian glared coldly at the monster and roared. You dare hurt my friend? You're tired of living. With that, he unleashed a powerful attack, sending the monster howling in agony. In the blink of an eye, the mutant beast was sent flying. Zhang Yi stared at Lin Tian in astonishment, stammering. Lin Tian, are you a cultivator? Lin Tian turned, a confident smile spreading across his face. Let me take care of this beast first. We'll talk later. A sharp dagger materialized in his hand. The crowd behind him gasped and murmured in astonishment. It turned out that the young man was a genuine cultivator. Unbelievable. With a single attack, he'd managed to injure the ferocious aberrant hound. Yongquan exclaimed in shock. This kid, his power is astounding. I never expected him to be this strong. Surging bolts of lightning instantly enveloped Lin Tian. Lin Tian hovered in midair, his voice resonating with authority. Receive my judgment. A mighty lightning spear materialized in his hand, crackling with energy and poised for the final strike. The sharp spearhead locked onto the snarling monster below. The aberrant hound, consumed by fear, tried to flee, but Lin Tian wouldn't let it escape. With lightning speed, he hurled the spear. Trying to run? You won't get away. The lightning spear ripped through the air, piercing the monster's chest. The monster let out a horrifying shriek of pain. Blood gushed from the wound. On the other side of the battlefield, Zhang Yi was being helped up by his comrades. Witnessing the scene, he was utterly stunned. Shaolin's, I never imagined he was a cultivator with such formidable lightning powers. Why isn't this damned dog showing any fear? It's getting ready to attack. Lin Tian calmly approached the monster as it lunged, attempting to pounce on it. The small dagger in Lin Tian's hand suddenly erupted in a brilliant light. He spoke calmly, neither hurried nor slow. Demon subduing slash, cleave the evil in two. As everyone watched in astonishment, they exclaimed, the spiritual energy has just recovered, and he already possesses such terrifying power. If he cultivates for another year and a half, won't his strength become truly invincible? Zhang Yi's face now held a mixture of shock and smug satisfaction. He thought to himself, as expected of Sun Zhang Yi's good brother. Well done, little Lin. Lin Tian paid no attention to the praise, lost in his own thoughts. Even a specially crafted military dagger can't withstand the might of thunder flame. I need to find a different weapon. One that can handle the power of thunder flame spiritual energy. The small dagger in his hand had completely disintegrated into ashes. The moment his feet hit the ground, Zhang Yi rushed over to Xiao Linzi. You kept this from me, huh? He said, a playful accusation in his voice, ignoring his own wounds. Zhang Yi clapped Lin Tian hard on the shoulder. You're this strong, and you were playing weak with me? He laughed heartily. Noticing Lin Tian's tight embrace, Zhang Yi cautioned. Easy there, you're pretty banged up. Zhang Yi slung an arm around Lin Tian's shoulders in a comradely gesture and barked orders to his subordinates. Get that monster disposed of. My men and I are going for a celebratory drink. Back at headquarters, tension filled the air. On a laptop screen, the footage of Lin Tian bisecting the monster replayed. Shun Fei, her face impassive, questioned Zhang Yi. This man, is he a friend of yours? Zhang Yi quickly replied, more than a friend. We're brothers, bound by life and death. She thought to herself, if we could recruit this talent into the military, our forces would be significantly strengthened. After a moment of silence, he spoke. Have you offered him a position in the military yet? The man scratched his head, a flustered expression on his face, before replying. But he said he's already joined the Cultivation Association. Jean Fei fell into deep thought, a worried frown creasing her brow. That old fox Lu Ying is definitely behind this. I'll go see him and demand he return him immediately. The scene shifted to the next morning at a modern apartment complex. Lin Tian had a piece of bread in his mouth, a cup of water in his hand, as he carefully closed the door. I almost forgot she was home. I didn't buy her any breakfast. He slowly sat down on a chair. Lung Yu asked urgently, did you participate in the military operation last night? He replied calmly, not showing any surprise. It was just a coincidence. I wasn't planning on getting involved, but I happened to stumble upon it. Could I just stand by and watch when my brothers were in trouble? She stared at him intently, her eyes scrutinizing. This morning, the commander-in-chief's daughter, Director Lu's phone rang incessantly, call after call pouring in, all with a single purpose, to persuade him to join the military ranks. So, how did you explain things to Uncle Lu? Director Lu has smoothed things over for now, but the commander-in-chief's daughter isn't someone to be trifled with. You'd best tread carefully for the next few days. She made sure to warn him thoroughly. Does she expect me to become her live-in son-in-law or something? Lin Tian chuckled, unfazed by her warning. Suddenly, his phone rang. It was Sun Jingyi. He immediately answered. Hey, what's up? A panic scream erupted from the other end. Is this Lin Tian? This is Shun Fei, Sun Jingyi's superior. Both he and Lung Yu were momentarily speechless. The voice on the other end continued. We've located a place with incredibly potent fire attribute spiritual energy. Are you interested in checking it out? Hearing this, he felt a flicker of excitement. Fire attribute spiritual energy. While searching for a way to increase the intensity of his fire attribute spiritual energy, a sinister smile crept across Lin Tian's lips. Initially, during a late-night patrol of a construction site, he had stumbled upon a mysterious colony of fire demons. At that time, everyone dismissed it as mere superstition, so they invited a Taoist priest to perform an exorcism. However, after the ritual, not only were the fire demons not eradicated, but they became even more ferocious and powerful. Now, the entire vast construction site was engulfed in a raging inferno. The military quickly cordoned off the area, but against the terrifying power of the fire demons, they were utterly helpless. The area was now shrouded in an eerie darkness, and no one dared to approach it. Yesterday afternoon, after the Earth's spiritual energy was restored, the ghostly flames seemed to grow even more violent, if allowed to continue spreading. Innocent people will suffer if we don't stop this. Lin Tian sat in the car driven by Shun Fei. They sped down the wide road, racing against time. The fire, is it still spreading? Lin Tian asked anxiously. Yes, Shun Fei confirmed grimly. Right now, all we can do, she said with a serious expression, is keep expanding the quarantine zone contain the spread. Shun Fei suddenly changed the subject. All right, I heard you and Lung you have some sort of ambiguous relationship going on. Lin Tian froze, sweat beading on his forehead. Miss Shun, he stammered. Don't talk nonsense. Lung Yu, Lin Tian quickly defended himself, was sent by Director Lu to monitor and protect me. She's just keeping an eye on my every move. He babbled his explanation, his voice nearly a shout. Shun Fei raised an eyebrow, her response icy. Don't be so quick to deny it. Let me finish. The world's spiritual energy has fully recovered. She began to analyze. For the sake of national security, her voice turned grave. We need to quickly establish a cultivation army to deal with potential threats, the unexpected elements from the outside world. Currently, among cultivators possessing a certain level of power, their moral character varies greatly. Entrusting them with combat duties is acceptable, but training and guiding the next generation of cultivators is absolutely out of the question. Begin. Sun Jingyi told me that you possess impeccable moral character, no questionable traits, and extraordinary, exceptional strength. Hearing this, he began to understand her intentions. So, you want me to join your organization to help train and guide young cultivators? She didn't bother hiding her intentions, frankly admitting, that's right, as long as you agree. We can negotiate any conditions, any compensation. You can have whatever you want. Lin Tian rested his chin in his hand, his gaze averted, showing disinterest, coldly refusing. I'm sorry. I currently don't have the energy or the time to shoulder such responsibilities. First, let me focus on my own training. Director Liu's people are all taken care of, Long assured her. She readily agreed without any pressure, earning Long's admiration and respect. He was a man of loyalty, deeply committed to his friends. They quickly arrived at the scene. A massive crowd of onlookers had gathered, jostling and pushing for a better view. Don't push. Don't shove. It's dangerous. The two men stepped out of the car and slowly approached the throng. Suddenly, a voice called out, Lin Tian, what are you doing here? He quickly turned around. It was Jiang Wu and Li Xiaodong. Seeing them, Lin Tian frowned, thinking to himself, what's that weasel doing here? Jiang Wu sneered, his voice dripping with arrogance. So you're the lovesick fool obsessed with Xiaotong? You know, for a nobody, you've got some nerve showing up here. The reporters behind them seized the moment, their cameras flashing relentlessly. Damn, this is getting interesting. We've got a hot story here. Jiang Wu continued his provocation. Listen, pal, even if you're still hung up on Xiaotong. But you have to understand, there's a vast chasm between you and her, a deep, unbridgeable divide, an insurmountable abyss, a line that cannot be erased. The other woman quickly chimed in, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Lin Tian, I gave you a chance, but you threw it away. You didn't appreciate what you had. The curious onlookers began to murmur and gossip amongst themselves. What a lively day. This is better than any show. What a performance. A real feast for the eyes. Has our lovesick hero suffered another crushing defeat? Lin Tian stood speechless, facing the two women, unable to utter a word. Damn it. Are these two idiots? Shen Feifei finally spoke, breaking the tense silence. Lin Tian, what happened? The paparazzi seized the opportunity, snapping photos frantically. Oh my God, who is this beautiful goddess? Where did she come from? Even the two hateful individuals gaped in astonishment, awestruck by her breathtaking beauty. The two-faced scoundrel immediately changed his tune, faster than flipping a pancake. Could such a stunning beauty actually exist? Compared to her, Li Xiaodong is nothing but a grain of sand in the desert. He quickly put on a charming and attentive act. The handsome, charismatic young man gestured to the beautiful woman beside him and introduced her to Lin Tian. This is Jiang Wu. The woman promptly ignored the handsome man and turned to Lin Tian, asking, are these two friends of yours? Feeling snubbed, the other man bristled. Hey girl, why are you treating me like I'm invisible? Lin Tian retorted icily. Get lost, you adulterous couple. Don't waste your time on this kind of trash. The two walked straight into the construction site, completely ignoring the other pair. The narcissistic man stood rooted to the spot, speechless. Those around them erupted in laughter and mockery. No wonder that kid dumped her. If it were me, I'd choose that beautiful girl too, way better than this one. Li Xiaodong overheard the gossip and flew into a rage. Her face darkened with fury. How dare that little slut act so haughty in front of me? She's just got a pretty face, that's all. I have to find a way to make that bitch suffer. Xiaodong suddenly turned around and saw Jiang Wu staring at the other girl, practically drooling. Haven't you seen enough? She snapped. She's gone. Jiang Wu quickly turned to Xiaodong, his expression shifting to one of fawning appeasement. Xiaodong, honey, it's just an occupational hazard, he pleaded. Inwardly, Xiaodong thought, as if men are all the same. If it weren't for the money, I wouldn't even bother looking at you. Meanwhile, Lin Tian and Shen Feifei had quickly entered the construction site. Shen Feifei spoke. I just confirmed with the guards. The fire inside seems to be intensifying. We need to expand the perimeter just in case. Lin Tian was surprised. Expand it further? Yes, Shen Feifei affirmed. Unless we find a way to contain it. That mysterious green fire is gradually consuming everything around. Looking at the terrifying scene before him, a wave of unease washed over Lin Tian. Lin Tian hesitated. Exactly, Shen Feifei confirmed. This is the place I told you about yesterday, where the fire attribute spiritual energy is incredibly strong. Flames roared, swirling and converging into a blazing circle in midair. Looking at the young man, the woman asked curiously, "What are you holding? Can you explain it to me?" "Simply put, it's a device that measures spiritual energy density," he replied. Observing the device, she sighed in frustration. "It seems we have no choice but to expand the quarantine zone again." Immediately, Fei Fei ordered, "Extend the warning perimeter by 5 kilometers. No one is allowed to approach." "No, make it 10 kilometers. Before she could finish, a subordinate beside her exclaimed in alarm, "What are you doing?" The woman turned around and witnessed the young man stepping into the ring of fire. Fei Fei cried out in a panic, "Lin Tian, deputy commander, what do we do now?" The subordinate anxiously asked. The subordinate practically shrieked in terror. She herself had no idea how to handle this situation. Anxiety surged within Lin Tian. Can he really control this fire? Facing the immense spiritual energy, the young man showed no hesitation or fear. Suddenly, the system appeared in his mind. An incredibly powerful source of fire attribute spiritual energy was detected. "Host, do you wish to absorb this energy source?" Lin Tian smiled confidently, his voice resolute. "Absolutely, absorb it." Immediately, he sat down in a meditative posture, circulating his energy and channeling the immense spiritual energy into his body. A powerful gust of wind suddenly erupted, swirling around Lin Tian. The fierce wind forced those nearby to shield themselves, struggling to stand firm. Fei Fei marveled inwardly. Such powerful energy. One overwhelming pressure. Curiosity gnawed at her. Just what level of cultivator is Lin Tian? If he absorbs all this fire attribute spiritual energy, she wondered. What supreme realm could he reach? How terrifying will his power become? Could he break through to the 4th, 5th, or even 6th level of the Yongquan realm? Meanwhile, Lin Tian remained deeply focused, completely absorbed in absorbing the energy. The system screen displayed the absorption progress. 90% and 100%. Fire attribute spiritual energy has reached level 2. Reward. Opportunity to draw a fire attribute cultivation technique. Congratulations, host. Fire attribute spiritual energy has been upgraded to level 2. Host, please proceed to draw a new cultivation technique. Lin Tian spread his arms wide, as if to embrace the surging energy flowing through him. Without hesitation, he initiated the reward draw. A brilliant golden light erupted, engulfing the entire space, leaving him awestruck. Holy cow, it's actually gold. Jackpot, the system announced. Azure Undying Flame Art. Fire Attribute Cultivation Technique, Gold Rank. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a gold rank technique for the first time. System reward multiplied by 10. Azure Undying Flame Art. Upon successful cultivation, allows the user to accumulate fire attribute spiritual energy within the body. Upon activation, it will directly release fire spiritual energy, causing widespread damage. A confident smile bloomed on Lin Tian's lips as he declared triumphantly, "Absorb." In an instant, the vast spiritual energy abruptly contracted. Everyone was horrified, consumed by sheer panic. That brat, just what kind of monster is he? Such a terrifying amount of fire spiritual energy. Does he intend to absorb it all? Could it be that this punk is the embodiment of the fire god? Now, having taken care of everything, he slowly walked outside, each step heavy with thought. Shen Feifei rushed to Lin Tian's side, her eyes filled with worry. "Are you all right? Are you hurt anywhere?" she asked with concern. "I'm fine. Thank you for bringing me here," Lin Tian replied with a slight smile. Only then did Shen Feifei lower the measuring device in her hand. Suddenly, the device accumulated a massive amount of electrical energy. Startled, she quickly threw it away. A loud explosion echoed, shaking the entire space. Lin Tian swiftly pulled Shen Feifei into his arms, shielding her from the danger. Feifei looked at the handsome man in front of her, her heart skipping a beat. She thought to herself, "This handsome man, I must have him, no matter the cost." She muttered, as dusk fell and darkness enveloped the city. Inside a quiet and cozy cafe, Shun Feifei spoke, her voice hesitant. Were you the one who absorbed the fire attribute spiritual energy at the construction site that day? She asked. Is it all absorbed into your body now? Yes, Lin Tian admitted. I hope this won't cause you any trouble. Don't worry, there won't be any trouble, Shun Feifei reassured him. Then, can you tell me, what cultivation realm are you currently in? He examined his hands for a moment, then surmised. Most likely at the peak of the 4th Yongquan realm, on the verge of breaking through to the 5th. Shun Feifei looked at him with a hint of surprise in her eyes. What? She exclaimed. You're only at the 4th realm? That's impossible. Lin Tian scratched his cheek and replied. My cultivation method is a bit unique. He hesitated for a moment, then continued. Forget it. Every cultivator has their own secrets. If you don't want to say, I won't force you. She quickly waved her hand dismissively, indicating her understanding. Thank you for understanding. Lin Tian spoke sincerely. Would you reconsider joining our military department? The benefits here are far better than that raggedy guild you're with. Shun Feifei extended the offer once more. As before, he declined. Not at the moment. I'm not ready to join the military department. If you don't want to, I won't force you. However, I must report today's events to my superiors. Otherwise, I honestly wouldn't know what to tell my grandfather. Understand. With that, she stood up, preparing to leave. Trang returned to her luxurious apartment. Her phone screen lit up, displaying a new message. Shall you later? Contact Lin Tian and tell him to handle this. Detailed documents regarding the Dark Knight Monster mission. Attached is the PDF file, Comprehensive Spirit Tool, Restoration. Both of you must exercise extreme caution, understood? Yes, Director Liu. Trang pictured Lin Tian, feigning ignorance, a chuckle escaping her lips. All right, I'll definitely go tomorrow. She replied automatically. She sighed in frustration, at a loss for words. Placing the documents on the table, she stepped out onto the balcony, taking a deep breath of fresh air. The next morning, the enticing aroma of food wafted through the apartment, rousing Lin Tian from his sleep. He thought to himself, Lung Yu might seem cold and reserved, but her cooking skills were truly exceptional. He cheerfully made his way to the kitchen, his spirits high, and he didn't forget to playfully scratch Lung Yu's head in a gesture of affection. The enticing aroma of breakfast filled the air, prompting Lin Tian to exclaim, Wow, your breakfast smells amazing. Still half asleep and disoriented, Lin Tian was stunned by the scene before him, his mind filled with question marks. Shun Feifei, what are you doing in my house? He stammered. My house key. Where did you two get it? Lin Tian demanded, suspicion lacing his voice. Startled, Lin Tian bristled like a spooked wildcat. He stared wide-eyed at Feifei, who was sitting comfortably on the sofa, 2 steaming bags of buns, and a fragrant box of cheese in front of her. She replied confidently, Don't worry. I went through official military channels to requisition your house as a secret location for military operations. Lin Tian immediately protested vehemently. No way. That excuse sounds completely bogus. Are you kidding me? Lung Yu, stop hiding in your room. How could you let someone just walk in here? As he spoke, Lin Tian threw open Lung Yu's door, but the room was empty, devoid of any sign of life. Lin Tian was bewildered. Where is she? When I arrived, there wasn't anyone here. Did they anticipate my arrival and retreat strategically, or have they uncovered something amiss? Shun Feifei abruptly interrupted his train of thought. No, it seems like you just realized something important. He held the documents, meticulously examining every detail. Suddenly, his face darkened. The Dark Knight Phantom Mission. Lin Tian frantically scanned his surroundings. That girl, could she have acted alone? He grabbed his coat and rushed out. Seeing Lin Tian's urgency, Feifei quickly asked, Lin Tian, where are you going in such a hurry? Lung Yu is in danger. I have to find Director Liu immediately. At the edge of the city, in the desolate outskirts, where fierce waves crashed against the shore, Lung Yu was sinking into the deep ocean, her consciousness fading. Would I be helpless without Lin Tian? In the end, I'm still too weak. The air grew thin, making it nearly impossible to breathe. She thrashed desperately, struggling to turn and muster her last ounce of strength. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a colossal iceberg formed, radiating a bone-chilling aura. Lung Yu smiled radiantly, a triumphant cry escaping her lips. Success! I've finally done it. Suddenly, a massive, grotesque shadow emerged from behind the iceberg, shattering the tranquil silence. Lung Yu's eyes widened in terror, her face etched with fear. Whirling around, she froze, paralyzed by the sight before her. A monstrous fish with razor-sharp teeth and blood-red eyes burning with murderous intent materialized. Mustering all her strength, Lung Yu launched a desperate attack. She charged towards the colossal fish, determined to destroy the terrifying creature. But an unsettling, inexplicable feeling washed over her. A torrent of questions flooded her mind. What's happening? Why is this happening? This thing, what in the world is it? She braced herself, struggling to fight back. Sinister, black tendrils of energy enveloped her, plunging the surrounding area into darkness. Her body weakened, her spiritual energy rapidly draining away. She couldn't move, couldn't resist the overwhelming power. No, something's absorbing my spiritual energy. Lung Yu cried out in despair. She thrashed, desperately trying to reach the surface, to find a way to survive. A single, unwavering thought filled her mind. I won't let this monster drain me completely. If we don't destroy it soon, the monster will only grow stronger. Suddenly, a colossal tentacle from the ferocious squid lashed out, striking a powerful blow to the girl's head. Completely caught off guard, she took the full brunt of the devastating attack, severely injured, and coughed up a mouthful of blood. The spiritual energy within her body was violently disrupted, completely dissipated. She gradually lost consciousness, her body sinking into the icy water. Lost in a daze, fading into darkness, her thoughts wandered. Is this my fate? To become a meal for this terrifying monster? But then, in the nick of time, just as her life hung by a thread, Lin Tian appeared. He quickly swam to Lung Yu's side, his face etched with worry, urgently asking, are you alright? Fearing that Lin Tian would also be drawn into danger, Lung Yu forced out a warning. Get out of here. It's dangerous. This monster, it seems like it's trying to absorb our spiritual energy. Lin Tian realized. Without hesitation, he held Lung Yu tightly, determined to get her out of harm's way. Hold on tight. I'll get you out of here. They shot up from the water, fast as lightning. Fei Fei was waiting anxiously on the shore. As soon as he saw them, the boy rushed towards Lin Tian. You guys, you're finally out. That monstrous creature, has it been contained? The woman swiftly caught the unconscious Lung Yu as she slipped from Lin Tian's arms. He answered, a hint of worry in his voice, not completely. Saving her is the top priority right now. The woman responded, all right, I'll take her to the hospital immediately. Lin Tian's gaze lingered on Lung Yu as he thought to himself, I need to ensure Lung Yu's safety, then I'll return to deal with the aftermath. At the hospital, Lung Yu was out of critical condition, having narrowly escaped death's grasp, and was receiving intensive care. Lu Ying gripped Lin Tian's hand, his face filled with gratitude. Young friend, I am deeply indebted to you. I will forever remember this kindness. If it weren't for your assistance, Shangju Xiangde, this child might not have survived. Lin Tian humbly replied to Director Lu. Director Lu, you are too kind. Now, could you tell me more about that dangerous mission? Lu Ying looked at Lin Tian, a flicker of surprise in his eyes. Then, he calmly said, very well, I will tell you everything. Lu Ying folded his arms and began his story. This monstrous creature is called Yi. We've been secretly tracking this sinister entity for at least over 6 months. Lin Tian frowned, suspicion etched on his face. 6 months? Doesn't that mean? He didn't hesitate, answering immediately. Exactly. At that time, those capable of accessing and cultivating spiritual energy could be counted on one hand, less than 10 worldwide. He told us that he himself had never once witnessed the true form of this terrifying monster. Therefore, we suspect that it must be connected to the shadow element, a dark and mysterious power. Director Lu continued his report. This monster utilizes the power of the shadow element to conceal its true form in the depths of the ocean. It constantly absorbs the surrounding spiritual energy to increase its power, nurturing its malevolent energy. Coupled with the recent surge in spiritual energy resurgence, this monster has become incredibly ferocious and powerful. We must destroy it immediately. Otherwise, catastrophic destruction will befall the innocent fisherman. The elder looked at Lin Tian with a grave expression. Young brother Lin Tian, I hope you can lend us your aid in this matter. Without hesitation, Lin Tian immediately agreed. However, I need you to do something for me. That evening, at Fei Fei's house, she was about to step into the bathroom. Phone pressed to her ear, her voice laced with frustration. Grandfather, Why did everyone let Lin Tian go on such a dangerous mission? The voice on the other end replied, "This is a necessary trial for him, and a trial for the fate of the nation." Fei Fei slowly unfurled her towel, setting it down gently. "But you didn't have to let him, from the very beginning, undertake such a life-threatening task." The mission was codenamed Shadow of the Night Monster. Initially, the military command dispatched a seasoned professional team. Fei Fei sank into the bath, the warm water enveloping her. Soaking in the warm water, leisurely continuing their interrupted conversation. In this squad, even the cultivator with the lowest cultivation level has reached the 3rd level of the Yongquan realm, a considerable achievement. Yet, Squad 5, with such strength, has failed 7 times? Unbelievable. Mr. Fei understood his wife's distress and gently comforted her. "Fei Fei, I know you care deeply for our boy and worry about him, but right now, we have no other choice. We're forced into this situation. This time, haven't I dispatched 3 elites from the military department to assist him? Currently, spiritual energy has fully recovered across the globe. The rules of the world have undergone tremendous changes, a complete upheaval. If we remain stagnant, falling behind other nations, we will surely be invaded, our resources plundered, and turned into a colony." She listened silently to her husband's words, offering no rebuttal. Mr. Fei continued his analysis. "Dark Knight Phantom is the lowest level 8 danger zone within our control. It's the least dangerous area we can manage. If we can conquer this level A zone, overcome its challenges, our nation will have a voice, a firm standing on the world stage." After listening to his thorough analysis, she felt helpless, unsure of what to do. Silently, she prayed for Lin Tian, hoping for his safe return. Inside a luxurious car, Lin Tian and Wu Ting sat side by side. Wu Ting softly spoke, "Captain Lin." Hearing his name, he turned and asked, "What is it?" Curiosity laced her voice. "What mission are we going on? Why am I the only one with you? Why aren't Sister Chi and the others coming along? Where are Sister Chi and everyone else? Why aren't they on this mission?" He handed her a document and replied, "Out of the 4 of you, you're the only one who has reached the 3rd realm of Yongquan. I need to see if you've been slacking off on your training lately. These are the mission details." Wu Ting reached out to take the document, stammering, I will definitely do my best. I won't let you down, Captain Lin." Noticing her worried expression, he gently reassured her. "You don't need to be overly concerned," he said. "Think of this as a great opportunity to hone your skills and gain experience." He paused briefly, then continued, "Moreover, Director Liu announced that the military department will also dispatch personnel to assist us." Hearing this news, the young woman's face brightened. Her eyes shone with determination as she resolutely replied, "Yes, I understand. I will definitely give it my all," she affirmed. "I will dedicate all my efforts for Captain Lin." Just then, the driver announced, "Mr. Lin, we've arrived at the port." The atmosphere at the port was unusually quiet at night. The 3 of them got out of the car. There, 3 older men were waiting. Upon seeing Chu Mu and the young woman, one of them spoke. "It seems the younger generation is becoming more and more exceptional," he remarked. Lin Tian thought to himself, "Someone who has reached the Yongquan 4th stage in this day and age truly deserves to be considered a true master." He turned to old Chu and asked, "Are you from a military department?" Chu Mu frowned, offering a curt introduction. "I'm Chu Mu." He glanced at Lin Tian and Wu Ting, his tone dripping with disdain. "Hopefully, you two won't be dead weight, slowing us down." Chu Mu's condescending words sent a flush of anger rising to Wu Ting's cheeks. She retorted sharply, "What's that supposed to mean? Are you looking down on us?" Wu Ting's voice bristled with indignation. "Do you even know how incredibly powerful Captain Lin is?" Sensing the escalating tension, a woman with auburn hair intervened, her voice a calming balm. She said gently, "Come now, everyone, let's calm down." A soothing smile graced her lips. "Lao Chu is just blunt. His words could be a bit harsh. Please don't take it personally." Her gaze swept over the group. "We're about to face a serious danger together. It wouldn't be wise to squabble amongst ourselves now." The long-haired man seemed indifferent to the argument, his voice cold as he declared, "We have enough people. Let's move out." Lin Tian smiled, gently comforting Wu Ting. "It's all right, don't mind his words." His voice was warm. "Let's just focus on completing our mission." There. Wu Ting nodded obediently, heeding Lin Tian's words. "Captain Lin." The group plunged into the ocean's abyss, where sunlight struggled to penetrate. As they descended deeper into the murky depths, a thick, inky black gas erupted, swiftly engulfing them. Chu Mu cried out in alarm. What's happening? Something's draining my spiritual energy. The man with long, flowing hair spoke, his voice low and cautious. This is the corrosive power of the darkness attribute. Be careful. The brunette woman shielded her face with her hand, worry etched on her features. If we have to stay in this environment for long, we won't last. Wu Ting clamped a hand over her mouth, speaking with difficulty. Captain Lin, I feel nauseous. Why does it smell so horribly putrid down here? Lin Tian sighed, remaining silent. He then conjured a shimmering circle of light, shielding them both from the noxious fumes. His unexpected chivalry flustered Wu Ting. See, Captain Lin, he replied coldly. I'm just helping you. Lessen the corrosive effects of the darkness attribute. That's all. Don't disappoint me. The young woman softly replied, Yes, sir. Zhu Mu glanced back at them both, thinking to himself, We're all under immense pressure here. That brat's probably scared out of his wits right now. Suddenly, his eyes widened in astonishment. What? How can that be? Seeing the other two remain completely calm, casually chatting within their protective barrier, he couldn't help but be shocked. How could they act like nothing was happening? Zhu Mu's face darkened as he fell in a deep thought. They must have channeled all their spiritual energy to resist this terrifying darkness attribute. When they truly face danger, they'll surely freeze, clueless about what to do. Suddenly, the long-haired man called out a warning. What's that? Everyone, be careful. Something just moved beneath the surface. Zhu Mu urgently announced. That monster is close. It's coming. In an instant, a grotesque creature with razor-sharp teeth and blood-red eyes materialized. Witnessing this, Wu Ting immediately took a fighting stance, ready to attack. However, Lin Tian quickly stopped her. Wait, don't be rash. Look closely. This fish isn't the monster's true form. Wu Ting asked in surprise. What do you mean? Ignoring her question, Zhu Mu launched a powerful punch directly at the fish. He said smugly, Little girl, don't cause trouble here. This place is more dangerous than you think. One wrong move, and you'll lose your life. Mocked by Zhu Mu. Wu Ting angrily shouted, You fool, that's just an illusion. Can't you see? But Zhu Mu didn't believe her. He insisted. Illusion? What nonsense is this girl spouting? Before he could finish his sentence, the brown-haired woman suddenly screamed. Zhu Mu, be careful. Suddenly, from the depths of the ocean, countless giant tentacles of a monstrous creature erupted, swiftly engulfing everything. Witnessing the horrifying scene, the entire group was consumed by panic. What's happening? Where did these monstrous tentacles come from? Someone cried out in terror. This is the colossal monster that trapped us, another person stammered, trembling. Fifth realm of the Yongquan stage. It's a terrifying monster at the fifth realm of the Yongquan stage, someone realized in horror. The woman with auburn hair stated grimly. The long-haired man's face fell, and he finally exclaimed, Now we understand why our last encounter ended in such a disastrous defeat. Wu Ting suddenly charged forward, yelling, Ice Blade Dance. I will destroy you. Wu Ting, Kumurord. You're insane. You're no match for it. But Wu Ting ignored the warning, resolutely pressing her attack, thinking to herself, I absolutely cannot let Captain Lin down. I must show Captain Lin my true strength. In a breathtaking moment, she managed to encase the entire monster in a thick layer of ice. The horrifying creature roared in agony as the attack hit, its massive body convulsing violently. Wu Ting cheered triumphantly. Captain Lin, I did it. I restrained it. But her elation was short-lived. The monster suddenly surged back to life. It shattered its icy prison, roaring ferociously and preparing to attack. Seeing the imminent danger, the impending doom, Zhu Mu screamed a terrified warning. Run. It's about to attack. The woman with brown hair and the long-haired man, caught completely off guard, couldn't dodge the fatal blow. Both were sent flying by the monster, their bodies crashing heavily to the ground. The long-haired man gritted his teeth against the pain, a mouthful of blood spraying from his lips. The brown-haired woman suffered the same fate, her body racked with pain and covered in blood. Wu Ting desperately tried to use her powers to create an ice wall, shielding herself, but the fragile ice was quickly shattered by the monster's enormous tentacles. In that life-or-death moment, hanging by a thread, she could only widen her eyes eyes in despair, waiting for the inevitable. Am I going to die here? Wu Ting thought hopelessly. Suddenly, a deep voice cut through her despair. Well done, Wu Ting. At the same time, a blinding light erupted, forcing Wu Ting to squeeze her eyes shut. When she opened them, she saw Lin Tian, the courageous hero, standing protectively before her, shielding her from harm. The dance of affection technique. A gruff voice boomed. Captain Lin. He responded, his tone calm yet firm. Yes, just be more careful next time, understand? The woman with auburn hair, witnessing him intercept the monster's ferocious attack, was stunned, her eyes wide with surprise. That boy, he actually blocked a fatal blow from that monster's tentacle, she exclaimed. The man with long, jet-black hair was equally astonished. The aura around him, could it be the fire element? He pondered aloud. But why? Is it so different from any fire element I've ever encountered? Zhumu, sensing something unusual, spoke up. Such a powerful fire elemental aura. Could it really be emanating from that young man? Facing the terrifying, colossal monster, Lin Tian showed no fear. He roared, his voice filled with righteous anger. You dared to injure Lung Yu with your tentacle in broad daylight. So now I'll use that same move against you. How's that for fair? Perfect timing to test out the golden law technique I just mastered. With that, he drew his sharp blade, ran a finger along its cold edge, and swung it with a powerful AR, and courageously plunged his blade into the monstrous creature's head. Zhumu, witnessing the scene, couldn't believe his eyes. Fool! Reckless, he exclaimed. How could the hardened body of a fifth realm Yongquan demon be wounded by such a dull, ordinary blade? Lin Tian ignored Zhumu, muttering under his breath. Saint Flame, undying art. Instantly, his sword erupted in a brilliant, sacred flame. The fire blazed fiercely, radiating an unbearable heat. The raging flames engulfed the terrifying monster. It roared in agony, its cries echoing through the air. Finally, the monster exploded violently, disintegrating into ash and vanishing forever. Zhumu was stunned, speechless. What just happened? He stammered. What kind of power is this? Lin Tian remained calm and composed, silent. He exuded a powerful, mysterious aura. Zhumu frowned, eyeing Lin Tian suspiciously. So, everything the commander said was true. He recalled his earlier conversation with the commander. Commander, you see, we overestimate. Just a meager, insignificant rogue cultivator, without the cultivation resources and training provided by the military department. What kind of power could he possibly possess to be worth our concern? The commander turned, his expression serious as he addressed Zhumu. Zhumu, I know you're proud and arrogant, but Lin Tian's strength cannot be underestimated or dismissed. He's not someone to be trifled with. The commander paused, a thoughtful expression on his face, then continued. Mortals perceive us cultivators, like frogs at the bottom of a well, gazing up at the brilliant moon in the vast sky. And we, cultivators at our current realm, when looking at Lin Tian, are but specks of dust gazing up at the boundless, endless heavens. Lin Tian is someone we can only try to recruit and win over, never provoke or confront. Zhumu, battered and bruised, silently pondered the commander's words. He wondered, Lin Tian, is he even human? With such monstrous talent, if nurtured by the military department and given abundant cultivation resources, what terrifying realm would he reach? Just how powerful could he become? Zhumu glanced at Wu Ting, subtly assessing the girl standing beside Lin Tian. He thought to himself, this girl must be one of Lin Tian's subordinates, facing danger without flinching, maintaining an impressive calmness and composure. So young, yet already at the third level of the Yongquan realm. Astonishing, with just a bit more refinement. His future is boundless, his potential immeasurable. It's difficult to fathom his limits. Zhumu pondered, a shadow of gloom crossing his face as he reflected on himself. It seems I've truly grown old. The brown-haired woman and the long-haired man noticed. Zhumu lost in thought and called out to him. Old Zhu, are you all right? What's on your mind? Zhumu quietly replied. Apologies, I was just momentarily panicked, desperate for a way out. The long-haired man chuckled. No worries, he said. Just buy us a round later, and we'll call it even. Zhumu smiled faintly and agreed. All right, let me apologize to him first. Then let's all have a good drink, until we're completely sloshed. With that, he walked towards Lin Tian. Lin Tian, I sincerely thank you for saving my life and the entire team's. My previous actions were truly inappropriate. Lin Tian replied to Captain Zhou. Captain, you were just concerned for our safety. You don't need to worry about it. Zhou Mu respectfully bowed his head. Well then, Thank you very much. Just then, Wu Ting, pinching her nose, walked over to Captain Lin. Captain Lin, let's get out of here. The smell is overwhelming. It's unbearable. He gently replied, All right, let's go. As everyone swam towards the surface, Lin Tian suddenly sensed something unusual in the deep abyss below. Seeing him dive down, Wu Ting asked worriedly, Captain Lin, what's wrong? He glanced back and said to Wu Ting, You all go ahead. I want to see what's down there. Without hesitation, he plunged down into the depths. In the murky, bottomless depths of the ocean, something emitted a strange glow. He thought to himself, Isn't this the washing loom? But why are there two? At the bottom of the profound ocean depths, two extraordinary flowers emitted an ethereal blue light, shimmering like jade. Lin Tian held the two precious flowers in his hands, his heart overflowing with indescribable joy. This time, both Wu Ting and Lung Yu could rely on these divine objects to break through their current realms and increase their cultivation levels. Returning to the harbor, he searched for the familiar figures of his companions. Where is everyone? Suddenly, a voice called out from behind him, catching Lin Tian's attention. Lin Tian, are you perhaps young Master Lin? Before him stood a young man, clad in a neat military uniform. Lin Tian was taken aback, wondering how this person had approached him unnoticed. How did I not sense your presence? He inquired of the young man. The young man smiled, presenting a business card and introducing himself. I am Lei Nuo, the young lady's personal guard. This is my card. Please accept it, young Master Lin. Lei Nuo respectfully explained. A few days ago, the young lady was occupied with important matters and couldn't meet you immediately. In the future, should the young lady require your assistance, here's my number if you need to reach me. Lin Tian stared at the card, a flicker of suspicion in his eyes. This young lady you mentioned, who is she exactly? He asked. Lei Nuo quickly replied, Commander Shun's granddaughter, sir, Miss Shun Fei. Lin Tian pondered for a moment, a realization dawning on him. It's her. Just as I suspected, he said with certainty. Of all the people I know, the only one who could have bodyguards of this caliber is her without a doubt. This Lei Nuo's strength, he murmured, astonishment etched on his face. I can't comprehend it at all. Could it be he's already reached the Tai realm? Lin Tian wondered. His gaze towards Lei Nuo became more cautious and probing. Lin Tian turned to Lei Nuo and asked, Why have you come to find me? And where's my friend? Where is she? Lei Nuo respectfully replied, Miss Su Yuting has been safely escorted home in a private vehicle, sir, and Chu Mu and his two friends. They've been picked up by a military department vehicle, sir. Lei Nuo gestured toward car. Please wait here for a moment, sir. The Supreme Commander wishes to see you. Lin Tian stammered, stunned. Commander-in-Chief. You mean? Yes, the Commander-in-Chief of the Military Council. The officer, Lei Luo, confirmed firmly. Lei Luo nodded again, his voice unwavering. That's correct. The Commander-in-Chief wishes to meet with you. There's a matter to discuss. Lei Luo explained further. Please, come with me, Lei Luo said curtly but politely. With that, he opened the door of a sleek black car, gesturing for Lin Tian to enter. Stepping inside, Lin Tian's eyes widened in surprise at the man sitting within. Aren't you Commander-in-Chief Shun? Lin Tian exclaimed. Commander-in-Chief Shun, Elder Shun, smiled warmly at the young man. Indeed, young man. You're Lin Tian, are you not? My granddaughter has been singing your praises lately, he said affably. Have a seat, Lin Tian. Commander Shun offered graciously. I hear from my granddaughter that. He began. You successfully sealed the heavenly flame within yourself, Commander Shin said, his eyes scrutinizing Lin Tian. Lin Tian nodded in confirmation. Yes, sir, that is correct. Commander Shin sighed, then continued. Truly, in this era of spiritual revival, all things can undergo immeasurable change. Anything can happen, he finished, his voice trailing off. Without the unwavering support of the military council and the nation, he said meaning. And yet, in these chaotic times, a talent like you emerges. Truly, a great blessing for our nation. Lin Tian scratched his cheek, a hint of embarrassment on his face. Commander-in-Chief Shun, you overpraise me. I don't deserve such accolades. I was merely lucky. It was a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Witnessing Lin Tian's humility, he smiled with satisfaction, stroking his silver beard. Excellent, he praised. Humble, yet not weak. Calm, yet not arrogant. Indeed, worthy of the young man my granddaughter has her eye on. Commander-in-Chief Shun addressed Lin Tian. The world is currently undergoing tremendous changes. An unusual phenomena will become increasingly frequent. This will be a catastrophic disaster for ordinary people who haven't adapted. They will face the threat of annihilation. Lin Tian responded solemnly. Commander-in-Chief Shun, you can rest assured. If I encounter any anomaly that harms the people or injures the innocent, I will absolutely not stand idly by and watch. He offered a piece of advice. I want to tell you this. These words aren't meant to restrict you or impose any moral code. I simply hope that you can quickly hone your skills and elevate your strength to new heights. Commander Shun gravely warned Lin Tian about the lurking danger. Among the countless types of spiritual energy in this world, dark attribute spiritual energy is the most dangerous and unpredictable because dark attribute energy possesses a destructive power capable of corroding any living being, transforming them into ferocious monsters devoid of reason and humanity. He paused for a moment, then continued. Fortunately, the lightning attribute spiritual energy you possess is the nemesis of darkness, the most potent weapon against it. Therefore, you must strive with all your might, constantly training to grow stronger, not just for yourself, but for the fate of this nation. Without hesitation, Lin Tian immediately replied with a firm promise. Yes, sir. Commander Shun, please rest assured. I will dedicate all my effort to relentless training. He then handed Lin Tian a phone, along with instructions. This is a specialized military phone, equipped with state-of-the-art encryption technology, completely secure and impossible to eavesdrop on. If you encounter any difficulties or require assistance, please don't hesitate to contact me directly. He graciously accepted the offer, expressing his sincere gratitude to Commander Shun with a warm smile. Actually, Commander, there is something I need your help with. I'd be grateful if you could devise a solution. Shun looked surprised. Oh, what is it? Tell me what's troubling you. Lin Tian retrieved his weapon, slowly presenting it. This is the weapon that I asked Director Liu to procure for me. He drew the blade, revealing its severely chipped edge. I had assumed that this blade would be resilient enough to withstand my spiritual energy. Commander Shun examined the damaged blade with a wince, regret evident in his eyes. I recall this blade being a treasure that old Liu cherished deeply. To think it's been damaged to this extent. The spiritual energy within this young man. Just how potent is it? He nodded decisively. Leave this matter to me. In a few days, I'll have someone deliver another blade to you. One that is undoubtedly stronger and more due. To confirm this, Lin Tian clasped his hands, expressing his deep gratitude to Commander-in-Chief Shun. After seeing the Commander-in-Chief off, he watched the car disappear, lost in thought. It seemed the current situation didn't allow him to let his guard down, not even for a moment. His phone suddenly rang. He quickly answered, "Hello, Director Liu? What's happened?" A panicked voice filled the line. Lin Tian, Lung Yu, she's critical. Lin Tian's face darkened. What happened? He demanded. She's in surgery. The doctors are doing everything they can. Her heartbeat is weakening. The voice broke off. I understand. Lin Tian cut him off coldly, needing no further explanation. We have to find a way to purge the dark spiritual energy consuming her. He muttered to himself, his voice resolute. Another doctor protested. That's impossible. She's in a deep coma. If we forcibly extract the spiritual energy, the remaining energy will go haywire. It could kill her. Then what do we do? Just stand here and watch her die. A voice filled with despair cried out. Outside the emergency room, Liu sat with his face in his hands, racked with guilt. It's all my fault. If only... A voice suddenly cut through his tangled thoughts. Chief Liu, I'm here. He looked up at the young man, relief washing over his face. Lin Tian, you finally made it, the young man asked urgently. How is she? What's Lung Yu's condition? She was fine when I left. What happened? Liu jumped to his feet and approached Lin Tian, anxiety etched on his face. Why suddenly? Do you know about the properties of dark spiritual energy? Lin Tian seemed to be well versed in the subject. He replied, dark spiritual energy can cause living beings to lose their minds, to become frenzied. Could it be? Liu grasped Lin Tian's meaning. Yes, Lung Yu is a strong girl, very resilient. But after you saved her, she started doubting her own abilities, so she didn't consult you and took on this mission alone. If only I had let her take you along, and then assigned the mission to both of you. Lin Tian summoned his system, Desp. System appear. Is there any way to save Lung Yu? The system's voice resonated, monotonous and cold. Please, Master, touch Lung Yu's body. Within 3 minutes, the system will assist Master in finding a solution to save her. Without waiting for permission, he recklessly barged into the operating room. Understand, I'll go right away. The doctors were startled and bewildered by the sudden appearance of a stranger. Who are you? Hey, get him out of here. We're trying to save a life. Ignoring their protests, he unleashed a burst of strength, shoving a doctor aside. If you can't cure her, then stop pretending. He grasped Lung Yu's hand tightly, pleading, System, you must save her, please. The scanning process began. Moments later, seeing him standing motionless, the doctors erupted in furious shouts. Where did T? Let go of her. Have you been watching too many movies online? What kind of delusional fantasy is this? You think you can diagnose and cure someone just by taking their pulse? How naive. Get out. Don't interfere with Miss Lung's treatment. If Director Liu finds out about this and decides to punish us, you won't be able to handle the consequences. And you security guards, who allowed this kid to get in here? Director Liu entered the room. I did. Doctor number 6, do you have a problem with that? Doctor number 6 stammered in terror at the sight of him. Director Liu, I didn't mean that. It's just Miss Lung's injuries. They're critical. He closed his eyes, vouching for Lin Tian. Let Lin Tian try. If he can't find a solution, then this old man will take responsibility for young Lung's life. Dr. Lin observed him from head to toe, silently assessing him. Just who is this kid? 00:10:24:1. System analysis and diagnostics in progress. Diagnostic process at 62% completion. 84%. Treatment protocol number 1 generated. Grind the Xinglu flower into a fine powder and administer orally. This will destabilize the current spiritual energy equilibrium, disrupting the conflicting ice and dark attributes within Lung Yu's body. Channel lightning attribute spiritual energy from the host into Lung Yu. Lung Yu, guide the lightning spiritual energy to gradually purge the dark attribute energy. Slowly and carefully, harmonize the balance between lightning and ice attributes within her. Simultaneously, withdraw the lightning spiritual energy from Lung Yu's body. Estimated treatment time, 3 hours. During this process, the host must maintain direct physical contact with Lung Yu. He turned and addressed Director Liu of the Security Bureau. I know how to save Lung Yu, but everyone needs to step back. The bewildered doctor watched him push forward. Healing and saving lives is a virtuous act. Why should it be hidden? Why can't others witness it? He finished his explanation and unleashed his powerful lightning attribute spiritual energy. Because in this critical situation, I can only guarantee Lung Yu's survival, but not the safety of anyone else. Do you understand? Director Liu's expression remained cold and indifferent. Everyone, follow Lin Tian's instructions. Despite their lingering doubts, they had to obey the director's orders. The operating room door closed shut. A powerful spiritual energy emanated, enveloping his entire body. He reached out and gently crushed the Hua Xing Lu into a fine powder. Then, he carefully fed it to Lung Yu. Her body immediately convulsed violently. Beside the unconscious girl, he whispered, Don't worry, I will save you. This promise, this life, they're all yours. No one knew what happened during that time. Dawn broke outside, and Lung Yu slowly opened her eyes. She saw Lin Tian sitting beside her bed, his eyes filled with worry. She weakly called out, Lin Tian. She stirred, slowly opening her eyes, finally awakening from her unconscious state. The young man looked at her with worry and deep concern. Don't ever act so recklessly again. She met his gaze, asking softly, Did you save me? He replied with a quiet Luckily, I found 2 astral dew flowers at the bottom of the deep sea. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known how to save you. She turned away sadly, falling silent. Her voice was soft, tinged with self-doubt. Do you find me to be a burden? He looked confused. Why would you think that? You're a talented cultivator, having reached the 3rd level of the Yongquan realm, possessing extraordinary power. At this stage, you're practically invincible, standing at the pinnacle of the world. A flicker of insecurity crossed her eyes. But I'm still much weaker than you. He comforted her while casually, yet humbly, boasting about himself. Don't blame yourself. It's not that you're too weak, it's just that I'm too strong. Have you ever met anyone stronger than me? Although his words were somewhat arrogant, they weren't entirely without merit. She pondered thoughtfully. That's true. Before I met you, Throughout my battles, I've rarely encountered a truly worthy opponent, even someone of Director Liu's caliber. I'm confident that within 5 years, I could surpass him. He turned and started to walk away. If you have no further questions, I'll take my leave. I haven't slept a wink these past few days, working all night. Be at the outskirts of the forest early the day after tomorrow on time. I'll guide your recovery training. Don't be late. The next morning, a ferocious, mutated wolf suddenly lunged at her. With an effortless kick, she sent the creature flying. He stood to the side, observing her intently. I told you you're strong. That mutated wolf was no pushover. It was at least at the peak of the third Yongquan realm. Yet you took it down with a single kick. With your current strength, you've definitely reached the fourth Yongquan realm. She frowned, not even looking at him. No need for your praise. I know my own CA. He scratched his head, forcing a smile. All right, the recovery training is almost over. Before he could finish his sentence, the words still hanging in the air. Both of them sensed an unusual energy spreading around them. Her expression turned serious, alert. What's happening? A warning alarm blared loudly. Detected extremely powerful, dark, spiritual energy. Please be careful. His gaze locked onto the source of the emanating dark energy. This isn't just some ordinary explosion, he murmured. Deep within the dense forest, a surge of dark spiritual energy pulsed violently. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible. Right here at the campsite, Kong Wu placed a reassuring hand on Xiaodong's shoulder, his voice gentle. Xiaodong, I'll catch a really big fish later and grill a delicious skewer for you. She frowned, brushing his hand away. Oomph. Who wants your grilled skewers? With that, she turned and walked towards Xiaoxue. Xiaoxue, let me help. A young man, witnessing the heated exchange, curiously approached them. Brother Kuang, are you having a disagreement with Sister Xiaodong? Kuang, annoyed, turned away without answering. A few days ago, he met a charming girl. That's why he's sulking with Xiaodong. Hearing this, the young man burst into laughter. Haha, Brother Kuang. In the future, if you plan to pursue another girl, try to be a little more discreet in front of Sister Xiaodong. Instead of showing remorse, Kuang laughed heartily in response. You have no idea how captivating she is. The young man stroked his chin, a playful smile gracing his lips. So, there's a girl who's managed to completely enchant Brother Kuang. I must meet her someday, if the opportunity arises. Suddenly, a hand appeared, pinching the young man's ear hard. You won't live to see tomorrow. Xiaoxue dragged the young man away. Hurry up and set up the tent for me, the young man wailed. Xiaoxue, have mercy. I was just kidding. You know I love you the most, right? Kuang watched them disappear, sighing wearily. Well, let them be. I'll go gather some firewood first. After some time wandering through the forest, Jiang Wu had gathered a decent amount of firewood. Suddenly, while walking, his eyes caught sight of a strange object nearby. It was a flower of a mystical purple hue, radiating a mesmerizing crimson aura. Curiosity welled up within him. What is this? He wondered. Immediately, the morning news report flashed back into his mind. The World Federation Council had just made a momentous announcement, declaring that Earth had entered a new era. The era of global spiritual revival. Jiang Wu's gaze was fixated on the peculiar flower. According to leading spiritual experts, the world was now brimming with cultivation opportunities, awaiting those with the right destiny. The more he looked at the flower, the more Jiang Wu felt hypnotized by a mysterious force. But then, something unexpected happened. The image of Shun Fei in a seductive and alluring pose suddenly appeared in his mind. Jiang Wu's face contorted grotesquely. This is my power, the power that will make me an emperor, he roared in a frenzy. This is heaven's gift to me, Lin Tian. You can't take it away. I will crush you beneath my feet, force you to kneel before me. In a fit of madness, he lunged forward and devoured the strange flower. Lin Tian, I will turn you into a lost dog, forever living in pain. And Jiang Wu froze before the woman, just as he had once stood paralyzed in front of Li Xiaodong. He stood motionless, as if time itself had stopped. A terrifying aura suddenly erupted from his entire being. Jiang Wu screamed in agony, a mournful wail echoing through the air. He looked like a demon crawling from the depths of hell, radiating a terrifyingly evil presence. This is true power. This feeling, it's magnificent, he exclaimed, his voice filled with manic glee. From the distance, a desperate cry for help pierced the silence. Xiaodong's group was under attack by a pack of ferocious demonic beasts, teetering on the brink of death. Jiang Wu appeared like a whirlwind, dispatching a colossal beast with a single blow. Is everyone all right? He asked, Upon seeing him, someone in the group frantically warned, "Jiangwu, be careful. These are dire wolves. They're incredibly dangerous." The wolves lunged forward with snarls, but Jiangwu remained unfazed, striking with cold precision. "Relax. These wolves are nothing more than ants to me," he scoffed, his voice dripping with disdain. She stared at him, dumbfounded, unable to comprehend what she was witnessing. "What's happening?" she wondered silently. Why has Jiangwu suddenly become so powerful? Is this even the kind of power a human can possess? Before she could ponder further, someone offered an explanation for this unbelievable turn of events. "Good heavens, Brother Jiang. He's the embodiment of that spiritual qi cultivation the media has been buzzing about lately, isn't he?" she exclaimed in awe. "What? Is he a real cultivator? Unbelievable. A cultivator possessing such terrifying, extraordinary power. A magnificent, powerful man like him. He must belong to Li Xiao. Elsewhere, Lin Tian and Lung Yu journeyed together." He spoke cautiously, warning her to be on guard. "We're getting closer to the source of that dark spiritual qi." She nodded slightly, replying, "I sense it too." As if sensing something amiss, Lin Tian's expression turned grave. "Wait!" Both of them quickly leaped onto a large nearby tree branch. A pack of ferocious demon wolves was rushing towards them from the same direction. Lung Yu observed the chaotic scene below and asked worriedly, "What's happening?" "These mutated wolves look like..." A terrifying black qi oozed from wounds on the wild wolves' bodies. He frowned slightly, suspicion evident in his eyes. "These are wounds inflicted by dark spiritual energy," he concluded gravely. The woman beside him asked with concern, "Should we report this to Director Liu?" His expression darkened, a serious look settling on his face. "We need to investigate the situation thoroughly first," he decided. "Otherwise, Director Liu will definitely send someone here." With that, he leaped down. But just then, a voice rang out. "Hold it! I promised Commander-in-Chief Shun that I wouldn't let you barge into this city." As he spoke, the man gathered spiritual energy in his hand. "Die!" he roared, unleashing a devastating attack that obliterated the wolf pack. After taking care of everything, he said coldly to the woman, "Let's go," his voice devoid of emotion. They continued on their journey, finally reaching Jiang Wu's hiding place. He surveyed the surroundings, his gaze sharp. "Someone has camped here before," the woman said, noticing suspicious traces. Jiang Wu, who had been in hiding, finally dared to show himself. He planned to take advantage of the man's distraction and launch a sneak attack. Fortunately, the woman reacted in time, creating a... He gritted his teeth, fuming inwardly. This girl is quite beautiful, and just as strong as the last one. Damn it, that Lin Tian brat. How does he know so many stunning women? He looked at her, a sly grin spreading across his lips. "Little sister, your martial arts skills are truly impressive. How about I buy you a drink later?" Seemingly indifferent to his words, she coldly asked, "Who are you, and why did you attack Lin Tian?" He held himself with an air of arrogance, now wielding a potent, dark, spiritual energy. "Because I have a score to settle with him. I need to teach him a lesson he won't forget." Her brow furrowed, her gaze turning icy. "A lesson? If I hadn't arrived in time, Baozi might have been seriously hurt. Your attack was more than just a simple lesson." Lin Tian walked up to Jiang Wu from behind. "You absorbed the dark, spiritual treasure, 018. At his words, the girl's face darkened, her expression turning icy. "What?" she gasped, stunned. He erupted in a fit of maniacal laughter, a surge of potent spiritual energy exploding outwards. "Ha ha ha. Exactly. I am now a true cultivator, more powerful than any of you," he roared, brimming with arrogance. Lin Tian stepped closer, his voice sharp with accusation. "You drove away that wolf pack, didn't you? Do you have any idea what would have happened if they'd reached the city, the carnage, the countless innocent lives that would have been endangered, extinguished?" He shrugged, utterly indifferent to the potential loss of life. "Let them die," he said callously. He puffed out his chest, consumed by self-importance. "I am a noble cultivator now. Why should I concern myself with the lives of mere mortals? Insignificant trash." Fury ignited within the girl, a burning desire to teach him a lesson. But Lin Tian restrained her. "Don't waste your breath on him," she spat, her voice thick with disgust. "He needs a fist to the face, not empty lectures." Hatred flared in his eyes as he glared at Lin Tian, murderous intent radiating from him. "Haha, very well, Lin Tian. Finally decided to show yourself. Crawled out from your rat hole. I'll show you the true power of a cultivator." Jiang Wu raised his hands, a mocking laugh echoing from his lips, a challenge in his eyes. A raging inferno erupted, engulfing him in a sea of furious flames. Lin Tian was equally formidable, his body radiating a blinding blue lightning, like a thunder god descending. A ferocious vortex of fire suddenly materialized, swirling menacingly before him. His eyes were fixated on the intensely burning fire vortex. Sensing the terrifying spiritual energy emanating from the vortex, he deduced, this must be the power of the second realm of spirit awakening. As expected, this is the world after the spiritual energy revival, brimming with power. Just a single strange fruit is enough to help one break through and increase their strength. Jiang Wu roared furiously, unleashing a deadly attack towards Lin Tian. He swiftly spun, meeting the full force of the brutal assault with his bare hands. Jiang Wu's pupils were bloodshot, his teeth bared in a savage grin. Who do you think you are? He boomed. You seem to have some skills after all. Lin Tian calmly met his gaze. Is that all you've got? He retorted. Jiang Wu glared at him, a barbaric roar ripping from his throat. You're courting death. They clashed like wild beasts, each strike ferocious and decisive. Jiang Wu's frenzy intensified, frustration building as he failed to bring Lin Tian down. Impossible, he exclaimed in disbelief. How can you withstand all my attacks? Lin Tian's response was calm, his voice soft yet potent. You're sim. Clenching his fist, he growled. If you're not a cultivator, meeting me is like seeing the moon in broad daylight. Impossible. He unleashed a powerful punch, too strong to block. And if you were a cultivator, facing me is like a speck of dust challenging the vast sky. He was sent flying, his body stumbling. How? How is this possible? He stammered in terror. He collapsed as everyone around stared in shock. Brother Kwong, are you all right? Two comrades rushed to Jiang Wu's side, helping him up. Li Xiaotong stood nearby, her face etched with worry. When did Lin Tian become this strong? He even defeated Jiang Wu. She bit her lip, frustration and anger twisting her features. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have antagonized Lin Tian so early. Lin Tian walked over to Lung Yu, his voice cold as he commanded. Take them all away. Interrogate them thoroughly. Find out. The woman swiftly pulled out her phone and answered the incoming call. I'll report this to Director Liu immediately. We need to lock down the entire mountain area to the... Jiang Wu remained kneeling, his head hung low, one fist clenched tight, bracing him against the ground. Unacceptable. I lost to Lin Tian. That bastard, damn him. Impossible. A strange voice suddenly whispered in his ear, making him jump. Do you yearn for power? Appear. Before him materialized a towering castle with endlessly high steps. At the top of the stairs stood a figure with piercing eyes and horns crowning his head. This is... Before him stood the Dark Lord. He looked up, instantly responding, I want power. I desire unparalleled strength. If I can crush Lin Tian, I'm willing to sacrifice anything. The Dark Lord extended a finger, unleashing a black energy beam. The beam shot directly into Jiang Wu's forehead. He rose to his feet, arms outstretched, embracing the power surge. He roared in ecstasy. Power. This is the power I crave. Adjust timing if needed. Lung Hui stepped forward, addressing the group. All right, everyone, follow me to the Cultivators Association. I'll explain everything. Suddenly, Jiang Wu slowly rose. A dark purple aura enveloped him, blasting the three people beside him away. Lin Tian shielded Lung Yu protectively. Jiang Wu's power surged uncontrollably, withering the surrounding plants instantly. The brown-haired boy gasped in fear. What's wrong with Brother Jiang? Li Xiaodong screamed in terror. No, I don't want to die. Lin Tian calmly stated. Commander Shun was right. Lung Yu panicked. What's going on? A voice echoed from the dark purple light. Finally, a ghostly figure emerged. I have returned to this magnificent world once more. The eerie voice put both of them on high alert. Xiaoyu was bewildered. What is this? He broke through from the second level of the Yongquan realm to the fourth in one go. Lin Tian warned, be careful. He's definitely not the person you once knew. The system issued a notification. Detected primary level dark type monster, Dark Lord. A screen displayed. Temporary mission issued. Defeat the Dark Lord. Reward. New spirit attribute cultivation pill. He looked at his opponent, thinking to himself, this monster, a creature I've never encountered in my life. I have no idea what kind of attacks it might have. The monster, having finished its gruesome snack, spoke. The flesh and blood of these humans are pathetically weak. They can't help me form a complete physical body. Its gaze shifted to Lin Tian. These two humans possess strong spiritual energy. If I could devour them, my power would be greatly restored. It launched a shadowy projectile, declaring, "Then let's start with that frail girl. Devour her first." The projectile hurtled towards them. The moment he saw it, Lin Tian instantly cast a spell. His hand erupted in flames, and with a single swing, he obliterated the projectile. The monster applauded. "Oh, not bad, young man. You were able to skillfully deflect my attack." Lin Tian directly questioned it. "What are you? And where is Jiangwu?" It crossed its arms, laughing arrogantly. "You're not worthy of knowing who I am, human. You only need to know, submit or die." Lin Tian's face darkened. "It seems you won't learn manners, unless I teach you a lesson." Hearing this, the monster's laughter grew louder. "An interesting human indeed. You think you can teach me?" It thrust a hand forward. Dark space deployment. Menace filled the air. "I'll let you experience the ultimate darkness and see just how terrifying it truly is." The direct attack sent a tremor through Lin Tian. Lung Yu screamed in terror. "Lin Tian." She rushed towards him, but he was already consumed by the dark space, sealed within. He hung suspended in midair. She gathered her strength, thrusting her hands forward, unleashing a beam of white light. The powerful attack only managed to crack the spherical prison slightly. The monster watched with amusement. "Futile. With such meager strength, you can't possibly break it. Stop struggling. Just let me absorb you." The moment it finished speaking, a hand pierced through the seal from within. The monster noticed it too. Countless white lights swirling around his dark sphere. In an instant, the seal shattered. Lin Tian emerged, his body radiating power. He countered with a question. "Is that all you've got?" The Dark Lord responded with unwavering confidence. "Fool, you think that just breaking the seal of the dark dimension is enough to defeat me?" Lung Shui eagerly spoke to Lin Tian from behind. "Let's join forces against him." Without turning, Lin Tian calmly replied, "No need. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. I want to see the extent of my true power." Xiaoya was taken aback. "What do you mean, true power?" Lin Tian's body erupted in a golden aura. "This is what I mean." He approached the Dark Lord, extending his hand toward his face. A surge of green energy slammed into the Dark Lord. A deafening explosion rocked the earth. The Dark Lord plummeted into a deep chasm. He was enraged. "I've been pinned down by a pathetic human," Lin Tian coldly asked, afraid now. The Dark Lord roared furiously, launching himself on the ground. "Wretched human, you dare underestimate me? You're tired of living." He unleashed an attack. Lin Tian remained calm under attack, raising his hand to block the blow. The Dark Lord's face was now contorted in shock. Impossible. He blocked it, completely unharmed. Every expression on his face was transparent to Lin Tian. He said calmly, "That look on your face, you're afraid, aren't you?" He closed his eyes and sighed. "You're not strong enough to force me to use my full power. How disappointing." The Dark Lord was sweating profusely. "This guy is no joke. He's even stronger than me right now. Retreat is the best option." He turned to flee. "I can't die here. I must devour more humans, gain even greater power, and then I'll kill him. I'll have my revenge." Seeing his attempt to escape, Lin Tian immediately countered. "Did you think I'd let you go?" A bolt of lightning struck the Dark Lord. He shrieked in pain, transforming into a small bat, and swiftly flying away. Lin Tian didn't pursue him. "To survive, you abandoned most of your body?" He turned back to Lung Yu, who asked worriedly, "Lin Tian, are you all right?" He replied, "I'm fine, but that dark monster escaped, partially. We need to report this to Director Liu immediately." She agreed. Right within the city, a danger warning was being issued to the public. Due to the influence of a cold air mass, our city will experience heavy rain this afternoon. The Meteorological Bureau has issued a red alert for heavy rainfall. Everyone, please limit your time outdoors. Hey everyone, I'm serious. Something big is definitely going to happen this afternoon. Later, I'll show you all my struck by lightning while acting foolish performance. On the street, a girl looked annoyed, grumbling to herself. "What's the big deal? It's clearly all his fault," she muttered as she walked. "We clearly agreed to go out today, and now he's canceling just because of the rain." Hearing a strange noise behind her, the girl spun around and yelled, "Who's there?" She gasped as the world around her plunged into darkness. Where am I?" A grotesque bat swooped down, attacking the girl. She shielded her face with her hands, screaming in terror. A flash of green light obliterated the bat. A man's voice called out, "Didn't you watch the news today?" Lin Tian stood atop a car, hands in his pockets, looking up at the sky swarming with bats. He instructed the girl, "Go home immediately. It's dangerous out here. The weather hasn't improved. Don't go outside until there's an official announcement." The girl looked up at him, her face beaming. So handsome, incredibly handsome. His phone rang. He answered, "Lung Shui, what's the situation?" The voice on the other end replied, "The dark creature has escaped. It's more troublesome than we thought. That dark monster, it seems to have split itself into countless bats. They've started attacking people across the city indiscriminately. These small bats, they're absorbing people's spiritual energy to continuously evolve. Among the bats we've eliminated, we found one that reached the Yongquan first realm, and they haven't stopped absorbing spiritual energy." Lin Tian's face darkened. It seems these bats, they intend to turn everyone in the city into a source of energy for their evolution. He looked up at the sky, worry etched on his face. If these bats all reach the Yongquan third realm and then merge back into that dark creature, I'm afraid that even I will have trouble dealing with it. We have to find a way to stop them. Before that happens, horrifying screeches echoed through the air. The rain intensified. They descended, blanketing the city in darkness. They craved power. They thirsted for revenge against Lin Tian. "If I devour all the city's inhabitants, I can restore my ultimate power, and then I will make that human pay dearly. I will torture him relentlessly, make him wish he were dead." Along the road, a convoy of military vehicles snaked along, advancing steadily. Elite soldiers, fully equipped, were also moving alongside the convoy. Meanwhile, at another location, the incessant clicking of fingers on a keyboard filled the air. A news article with the headline, "Help," dominated the screen. "Help! There's a bat the size of a dustpan banging on my window." A barrage of similar posts followed. "Is the world ending? I saw a bat suck someone dry. They turned into a withered husk. The bats are mutated. I just saw a huge one. Save me. Something's breaking into my house. I'm too scared to look. If any hero saves me, I'll offer myself as a reward." Finally, the mouse cursor hovered over the words "delete all" and clicked. Fei sighed wearily. "Death is at your doorstep, yet you refuse to stay indoors. Why do you have to go out and cause trouble and post these nonsensical articles, causing mass panic? Don't you think those shadow monsters are strong enough already?" she exclaimed in frustration. "Can't we just cut off their internet access? Tens of millions of people are posting, with our team of a few tens of thousands. How can we possibly remove them all?" Luo Nuo gently advised, "Young mistress, if we cut off the internet, I fear their panic will only worsen." Fei replied, I know. I'm just venting. This is so frustrating." She quickly asked Luo Nuo, "The military still hasn't arrived? It's been half an hour." Luo Nuo glanced at the equipment panel. "All roads leading into Tianhai City are blocked by hordes of Yongquan third realm bats. They won't be able to get through anytime soon. Please try not to worry, young mistress." Fei thought to herself, "Lin Tian, please, you absolutely must be safe." At a high-rise building, Lin Tian and Lung Shui entered slowly. Yu Qing, Tian Fong, and the others were overjoyed to see them. "Captain Lin, Brother Lin," Lin Tian quickly asked, "Is everyone all right?" Yu Qing replied, "Sister Qi and I were training in my villa until Director Lu called. That's how we learned about the incident." Tian Fong proudly boasted, "When it happened, I was having barbecue with my little brother. A mutated bat tried to attack him, but I punched it dead. Then I skewered it and we grilled it up. We barbecued it right then and there." Lin Tian cringed. Just don't get a stomachache." Then, everyone gathered for the meeting. Lu Ying addressed Lin Tian. "Thank goodness you're here. We can start the online meeting with the military now." Lin Tian replied, "Commander Shun is ready on my end," Lu Ying reported. On the other end of the line, Commander Shun spoke sternly. "Now that all members of the Spirit Energy Association are present, let's immediately discuss the rescue plan for Tianhai City." He continued, "Currently, the main highways on the east and west sides, leading in and out of Tianhai City, are completely blockaded by a large number of mutated bats. At the central square, in the southeast of Tianhai City. There's a sign of extremely strong energy. We suspect it's highly likely that this is the entity controlling the mutated bats. Lin Tian started to think. The central square. Suddenly, the woman sitting across from him seemed unwell. He asked, concerned, "Is Li Qi feeling all right?" Commander Shen continued. "We plan to break through the encirclement from the eastern highway, create an escape route, and guide the civilians at the central square to evacuate. Then, use heavy firepower to suppress, to help civilians evacuate faster. We need the Spirit Association's assistance to help us reach the central square through a different route. Prioritize civilian evacuation." He looked at his watch and said, "According to the expert analysis, this entire operation must be completed within 50 minutes. Otherwise, the creature at the central square will transform into something that we cannot possibly defeat." He loudly asked if anyone had any more questions. If the troops don't reach the central square in time, will the detonation time be delayed? Commander Shen sternly replied, "If we don't meet the deadline, all firepower will be concentrated on the target to ensure the mutated creature cannot develop to a point that we cannot control." Li Qi trembled and shouted, "How can we do that? If we do, aren't we gambling with the lives of the people at the central square?" Commander Shen responded, "If we let that dark monster successfully evolve, the dead won't just be those of the square. The entire city of Tianhai, even the entire Donghai province, will be destroyed." Li Qi could only mutter, "But," Commander Shen asked suspiciously, "Do you have loved ones at the central square?" Li Qi hung her head and replied, My family. They all live in a residential area near the central square." Tian Fong and Lin Tian fell silent upon hearing this. Wu Ting turned to comfort Sister Qi. "Don't worry, sister. I will definitely help you save your family. Captain Lin trained me a few days ago. My power has increased a lot." Tian Fong quickly added, "That's right. I'll call my siblings right away. I'll tell them to drive here." Commander Shen, on the other end of the line, spoke up. "Officer Li Qi, in that case, I'm afraid we can only ask you to withdraw from this mission." Li Qi angrily shouted, "Why?" Commander Shen explained, "A soldier overwhelmed by emotions will definitely affect the mission's effectiveness. Are you sure that when you arrive at the central square, the first thing you'll think about isn't your parents?" He added, addressing Director Liu, "To ensure the successful completion of the mission, I hope you will reconsider the personnel adjustments." Director Liu hesitantly said, Suddenly Lin Tian spoke up. "Wait a minute, Commander Shen. Your plan has a fatal flaw." Commander Shen asked in confusion, "What is it?" Lin Tian calmly replied, "Your bomb absolutely cannot injure that monster. Not even a little bit." Everyone looked at him in astonishment. Liu blurted out, "What?" Commander Shen asked him, "What do you know that?" Lin Tian responded, as Tian Fong looked on in surprise, "Because not long ago, I severely wounded that monster." He added, speaking to Commander Shen, "I'm afraid your plan is unlikely to work. Just follow my brilliant plan." The suspicious commander asked what he planned to do. "Have someone bring the weapon I requested. I requested it a few days ago," he said, then created a ball of energy in his hand and confidently declared, "I will destroy that dark monster." Well, at the entrance of a pitch-black tunnel, a young woman stood waiting. She glanced at the timer on her watch. The clock struck 12. Fei Fei frowned and said sternly, "For the sake of the people of Tianhai, I must deliver this to Lin Tian." Behind her, a squad of soldiers stood ready for battle. From another direction, a resounding voice called out, "Attention, troops! Next, commence Operation Anomaly Elimination in Tianhai. Route of march. Depart from the East Tianhai Expressway entrance. Destination, Tianhai Central Square." Commander Shen continued, "The objective is to secure and transport the weapon. Participating forces will be divided into 5 squads. At all costs, ensure the weapon is safely transported to its destination, Central Square." He emphasized each word. For the people, meanwhile, Fei Fei and the troops received Commander Shen's orders. They responded in unison. "For the people," he roared, charging into the tunnel. The horde of bats began to swarm. Just then, the army opened fire. The battle had begun, but the bats were overwhelming. As the gunfire echoed, the bats descended upon the soldiers. They clawed at their faces, ripping into their flesh, drawing screams of agony. "Everyone, follow me," Fei Fei yelled, charging forward. She told herself, "I must survive. I have to make it out of Tianhai City." The sky was a dark, swirling mass of bats. Suddenly, beneath the flying swarm, the ground cracked open. A massive beam of green light erupted from a fissure. Lin Tian, after unleashing his ultimate move, said coldly, "Such a nuisance. I shouldn't have held back in the forest." Wu Ting and Lung Yu chased after him. "Captain Lin, wait for us," they cried. The bats seemed to sense something and swarmed towards them. Wu Ting immediately unleashed his water dragon technique. Lung Yu countered with her ice hammer technique. "Damn it," Lung Yu exclaimed worriedly. "How many more of these monsters are there in Tianhai City?" Wu Ting replied, "I sense they're multiplying, absorbing spiritual energy." Lung Yu continued, "If those weren't dark clouds blocking the sky, their numbers would be unimaginable. We wouldn't even be able to count them." Wu Ting asked anxiously, "What if they combine into one being? How powerful would it be?" Lin Tian approached them, reassuring them, "Don't worry, that thing in the forest couldn't defeat me. It won't stand a chance out here either." He added, "Right now, our priority is reaching the square and regrouping with Shun, Fei Fei, and the others." Meanwhile, a group was fleeing the tunnel. It was Fei Fei and a few injured soldiers, but their wounds weren't serious. Suddenly, the bats converged and a voice echoed, "You're mine," catching Fei Fei's attention. Heian laughed maniacally. "We meet again." Fei Fei seethed with anger. "So it was you," she demanded. "You caused this chaos in Tianhai City. Do you know how many innocent people have died?" Heian replied coldly, "I don't know and I don't care. That trash didn't deserve to live. In fact, it's an honor for them to become nourishment for me." Hearing his arrogant words, Fei Fei lunged at Heian. "You bastard," she shouted, launching a kick. She struck his neck, but strangely, he was unharmed. "What the?" she cried. Heian smirked at her. "My dear beauty," he said slyly, "spiritual cultivators like you are nothing more than addicts to me, lusting after alcohol." He released a wave of dark energy. "If you hadn't desperately broken through," he continued, "even if I devoured everyone in Tianhai City, I would only regain half my strength, at most. But now, consuming you all will restore me to my prime." "What?" Fei Fei exclaimed. "He's just like that Kong Wu brat. Just be a good girl and become my nourishment." His dark energy enveloped Fei Fei. But just then, a massive ice pillar erupted from the ground, halting the dark energy. Lei Nuo stepped forward. He frowned. "Our young miss isn't too fond of you, so I have no choice but to send you to hell." Fei Fei was shocked to see him. "Lei Nuo," she gasped. Seeing his technique, Heian exclaimed, "The fourth realm of the melting spring technique." She called out his name. "Lei Nuo." Seeing his move, Heian exclaimed in shock, "The Rongchuan fourth stage. Your spiritual energy has reached the 5th level of the Rongchuan realm." He roared maniacally, "If I can just devour you whole, I won't just return to my peak, but I'll also break through to a new level." Lei Nuo turned to Fei Fei. "My lady, take everyone to Lin Tian. I'll handle things here." Fei Fei turned and left with the soldiers. She didn't forget to remind him, "Be careful." The Dark One roared furiously. "Where do you think you're going?" He unleashed his power to attack. But in the next instant, Lei Nuo used his own power to block him. The young man warned him, "Don't even think about escaping." A swarm of terrifying black bats suddenly appeared. They swooped down, attacking everyone. Fei Fei fought back while thinking, "Damn it, there are too many of them." The bats attacked relentlessly. "This is bad. These bats have evolved. Regular bullets can't hurt them anymore." As she fled from the bats, she wondered, "Can I even get this to where it needs to be? Even if I do, can Lin Tian and the others make it to the Xia safely?" She gritted her teeth, steeling her resolve. "Don't lose heart. I have to push these thoughts aside. They can do it. I can't let my faith waver." Just then, a bat was right behind her, but she was completely unaware. It drooled disgustingly. Then, a powerful bolt of lightning suddenly appeared, obliterating it. It was Lin Tian, his entire body enveloped in lightning. "There you are." Shen Fei Fei quickly ran towards Lin Tian. He gently patted her head. "Don't worry, I'm here. You don't have to worry anymore." "Did you bring it?" Fei Fei asked curiously. "This is what he told me to bring." "It's so heavy." "What is it anyway?" Lin Tian took it from her. "Didn't Commander Shin tell you?" Her face was innocent. "No, you just said it was a very powerful weapon. I don't know what exactly it is." Lin Tian drew a long, slender sword. Sleek yet glowing red, it pulsed with extraordinary power. Does this thing even have any destructive power? Fei Fei asked doubtfully. Of course it does. I'll show you its power right now. Lin Tian said with a confident smirk. Sweetheart, step aside, Daddy's coming to help. Hearing this, Zheng Yi quickly turned around. Everyone get back. My foster father is about to make a move. As soon as he finished speaking, a swarm of bats suddenly appeared. Fei Fei instinctively backed away. Lin Tian activated the system. He stood ready for battle, his eyes cold and sharp. Lei Yining shifted his stance. He swung his sword forward. 10 sword strikes were unleashed, scattering the bats. Zheng Yi proudly acclaimed, Avisome. My foster father is too strong. Those standing behind were utterly astonished. Wu Ting's eyes sparkled as she smiled brightly, praising Lin Tian. You're amazing. Can you teach me that move? He turned back, flashing a charming smile. Maybe, but if you want to achieve the same result, perhaps you need to reach the 4th level of the Yongquan realm, or even higher, to be capable of that. Zheng Yi and the 3 others approached Lin Tian's position. Is this all that's left? The others, have they all perished? Fei Fei's voice was laced with worry, fear etched on her face. Yes, Lei Nuo and Jiang Wu are fighting Lin Tian. Can you go and save them? He suddenly remembered something, astonishment flooding his features. Jiang Wu, wasn't he swallowed by that dark monster? How could he? Could it be he's alive again? Scene change. Lei Nuo was fighting with all his might, unleashing powerful attacks. He struggled to deflect a terrifying surge of energy hurtling towards him. He did it. The wave of power shattered. Heian let out a sinister chuckle, his voice dripping with mockery. Your strength is quite impressive, but your spiritual energy will eventually run out, while my bats are endless. He crossed his arms, his arrogant laughter echoing through the space. A swarm of black bats descended upon the metallic fragments Lei Nuo had just destroyed. He grimaced, fighting against the pain spreading through his body. They weren't helping their own kind. They were greedily devouring the last remaining traces of spiritual energy. Several horrifying bats had evolved to the 3rd level of the Rongchuan realm. The swarm grew larger and more ferocious, surging towards Lei Nuo. He fought back with all his might, but cracks began to spiderweb across his protective barrier. Terror washed over him as the barrier shattered completely. The brutal force of the bats ripped through his arm, sending him crashing to the ground. Damn it, he thought. The dark figure stood there, observing with cruel amusement, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Keeping your distance from me like this? Are you afraid? Witnessing the scene, Lu Yue unleashed a powerful attack, Frozen Lance. A sharp ice arrow shot towards the dark figure with incredible speed. But he didn't flinch. Instead, a defiant smirk spread across his face. He channeled his inner energy, effortlessly catching the ice arrow. Lu Yue couldn't believe his eyes. What's going on? I knew. You'd panic. And all this abundant spiritual energy. I won't be polite. He erupted in maniacal laughter. Damn it. That brat dared to use my spiritual energy to break through, to show my gratitude for helping me reach the peak of cultivation. I'll grant you a swift death. He unleashed a torrent of ferocious energy, hurtling towards Lei Nuo. Completely drained, Lei Nuo could only watch helplessly as the deadly force approached. He closed his eyes, a silent apology forming in his mind. I'm sorry, my lady. Ugh. Suddenly, Lin Tian appeared, shielding Lei Nuo. Lin Tian sunet bested arrival stunet Leino. Lin Tian, he shouted urgently. Get out of the way. That's a full-powered attack from a 4th-stage Rongchuan cultivator. You can't possibly withstand it. Lin Tian calmly swung his sword. Boom! A blinding flash erupted from the ground. He had neutralized the fatal blow. Lei Nuo looked around, speechless. Lin Tian, finally snapping back to reality, turned with a clueless expression. Huh? What did you just say? Lin Tian, is the my lady safe? Oh yeah, don't worry. Right now, she's with Lung Yu and the others, dealing with this annoying swarm. You need to go to her quickly. I'll take care of this right away. Afterwards, I'll come find you to discuss our next move. Lei Nuo dragged himself forward, each step heavy with exhaustion. Lin Tian spoke coldly, his face an impassive mask. So, we meet again, this time before I send you to hell. Perhaps you can tell me who, or what, you really are? The Dark Lord let out a sinister chuckle. Lin Tian, what nonsense are you spouting? It's me, Jiang Wu. Don't you recognize me? If you still refuse to tell the truth, then fine. Don't worry, it will all be over soon. He rested his hand on the sword at his back, his eyes sharp. The Dark Lord hovered in midair, arms crossed, his voice dripping with arrogance. Lin Tian, do you still think I'm just some nameless nobody from the wilderness? Let me open your eyes and show you true power. He laughed maniacally, unleashing a terrifying surge of energy towards Lin Tian. But Lin Tian remained calm, his grip tightening on his sword. Is that all you've got? A razor-sharp sword stroke ripped through the air. A brilliant crimson energy, like a raging inferno, shattered the attack. The force hurtled through the night, aimed directly at the terrifying black demon. The speed was blinding, catching him completely off guard. The bats swarming in the sky suddenly converged on a single point. Lin Tian watched the strange spectacle unfold, confusion and uncertainty swirling within him. Elsewhere, Wu Ting also sensed a disturbance, a terrifying aura spreading through the air. What's happening? She gasped, anxiety lacing her voice. Lung Yu, her face etched with concern, turned to Wu Ting. Do you feel that strange energy emanating from the dark clouds? Wu Ting responded with a bewildered yes. These mutated bats seem to be responding to some kind of command, she continued. They're moving towards the dark clouds as if controlled by an unseen force. Shen Feifei's expression turned grave, a flicker of understanding in her eyes. This isn't a joke, she said, her voice heavy with unease. How can this be happening? She murmured, struggling to comprehend the situation. Wu Ting's voice trembled as she replied. Sister Shun, what do you mean? Seeing the seriousness in Feifei's face, Wu Ting asked worriedly, Feifei, what's wrong? What is it? Feifei looked at the measuring device in her hand, her voice dropping to a whisper. Based on the readings, that thing in the sky, it could be a hypermutated entity. Isn't this the legendary realm spoken of in ancient texts? The anomaly levels are categorized into distinct tiers. The lowest danger level is classified as normal. This level signifies the presence of minor, insignificant, anomalous phenomena. Their impact on the surrounding environment and humans is negligible, posing virtually no threat. Typically, this level doesn't require the intervention of cultivators. Next is the disturbance level. At this level, the appearing anomaly or monster carries a certain degree of threat, albeit still minor. For ordinary individuals lacking defensive capabilities, these phenomena can cause unrest or panic within a small, confined area. However, low-level cultivators can usually handle and control the situation swiftly. Higher still is the dangerous level. At this level, the monster or anomalous event possesses significant destructive power, capable of inflicting serious damage and substantial losses upon a small town or a densely populated area. Typically, dealing with this dangerous level requires the coordinated efforts of multiple mid-level cultivators with experience and considerable strength. Finally, catastrophic anomaly represents the most dangerous monster level, surpassing all others. They possess unparalleled destructive power, capable of effortlessly obliterating an entire small city. Calamity level, Tai, requires the combined efforts of multiple mid and high-level cultivators. Entities at this level possess devastating destructive power, capable of threatening the safety of an entire metropolis. They can inflict catastrophic casualties and immense property damage. Intervention from peak-level cultivators is necessary, or a team of at least 5 elite cultivators to effectively respond. Calamity level, Haojia, a nationwide disaster with apocalyptic potential, capable of completely obliterating a powerful nation's entire defense system. Only a handful of exceptionally powerful cultivators can withstand this force. Full mobilization is required, with coordinated combat efforts and optimal strategic deployment. Calamity level, Mishi, the highest threat level, representing a global existential crisis. It could lead to the collapse of human civilization. Humanity must unite all cultivators, from grandmasters to novices, along with the entire allied defense system, in a desperate struggle for survival. Shen Feifei was consumed by worry, lost in thought. Only one thought echoed in her mind. She urgently said to Lung Yu, quickly contact Director Liu. Request that he dispatch more personnel here for support. I'll call my grandfather. I can't let Lin Tian face this alone. Against that terrifying monster. Lung Yu nodded in agreement and quickly switched scenes to her office. Captain Pan. Please answer, Captain Pan. Damn it. We've completely lost contact with Squad 2. The signal's been cut off. These monstrous bats seem to be jamming all communication signals. The atmosphere grew heavy, thick with tension. Commander Shun paced anxiously, lost in worried thoughts. Fei and the others, did they make it out safely? A panicked voice cut through his thoughts. Everyone look, those bats, they're all flying in one direction. What's happening? Captain Lee frantically called Captain Pan. I hear you. Are you alright? Excellent. Squad 2's signal is back. Captain Lee spoke up. After that swarm of monstrous bats retreated, the phone signal was completely restored. We can contact the Vanguard team immediately. A member of the operations room hurriedly reported. Captain Lee turned towards the screen and addressed Captain Pan. What's your situation? Report immediately. We were just attacked by a massive swarm of bats, estimated to be Yongquan realm level. 2 realms of attack. Their numbers were overwhelming. But just now it was strange. For some unknown reason, the swarm suddenly flew into the sky and vanished. All team members fought with everything they had. Commander-in-Chief Shun spoke gravely. Teams 2 and 3 encountered similar situations. The commander frowned, lost in thought, searching for answers. Quickly assess the casualties, he ordered. Yes, sir. A soldier quickly approached. Commander, we have an incoming communication from the eldest Mississippi. Surprise flickered across his face. Fei, you children. A worried voice came through the line. Grandpa, this is bad. This is very bad. Tianhai City is about to face a catastrophe. A super mutant monster is about to emerge. His eyes were wide with terror and deep worry. Panic gripped everyone in the room at the dreadful news. They were utterly helpless, unsure of what to do next. He frowned, turning to Deputy Commander Shun Fei. Commander Shun, what nonsense are you spouting? I'm not joking, nor am I trying to cause panic. Those monstrous bats have intentionally retreated from the area around Tianhai City. This indicates they're channeling all the spiritual energy. Teve absorb it. To that super mutant monster. It's hiding in the heart of that black cloud. Her words instilled a chilling dread and sheer terror in everyone present. It's over. Tianhai City is doomed. We're all doomed. Is there truly nothing we can do? A super mutant monster. To face this creature, we need at least a cultivator who has reached the 5th level of the Yongxian realm. Commander Shun gritted his teeth, his voice strained with helplessness. This is a super variant beast. Its power is terrifying. Fei, I'm sorry, my daughter. But I can't let the nation fall into jeopardy. I can't let the people suffer. I hope you can understand my anguish. Don't blame me. I've truly run out of options. Fei, understanding the situation, replied obediently, Yes, father, I understand. I won't blame you. I believe you're doing what's best. Commander Shin immediately summoned all his troops. Prepare for a full-scale assault. We must destroy this monster, regardless of the danger, no matter the cost. We must contain this situation. We must stop this super variant beast rampaging through Tianhai City. Absolutely not. We cannot allow this catastrophe to spread to other cities. He was determined to salvage the desperate situation at any cost. Commander, please calm down. At least prioritize rescuing the eldest miss first. His subordinate urgently pleaded. He spun around, his voice a thunderous roar. There are only generals and soldiers here. There's no room for sentiment or family. Our sacrifice is to protect the innocent, so they don't have to endure the pain of loss like we have. All troops, listen up. Prepare for battle. A sudden sound cut through the command. Hello. Can anyone hear me? This thing. How the heck do you turn it on? Hey. Confusion and anxiety rippled through the ranks. Where was that strange voice coming from? Commander Shun's eyes widened in recognition. Lin Tian, you're still alive? Commander Shun, I haven't even had a chance to woo your niece, and you're already wishing for my death. Not to mention, your niece is going to be furious with you. Lin Tian stood calmly before an overwhelming surge of energy. His voice boomed across the battlefield. Stop the bombing. Leave this hypermutated monster to me. He stood tall, his mighty sword resting casually on his shoulder. The room erupted in a chorus of doubtful murmurs and disbelieving stares. What? You'll handle it? Him? Do you honestly believe you're capable of such a feat? That's not just any monster. It's a hypermutated creature. Preposterous. Laughable. If I wasn't certain, why would I waste my time arguing with you all? Commander Shun, if you truly desire the safety of Tianhai City and your granddaughter, then lend me your full support. Commander, about this. Can you be silent for a moment? Lin Tian, what kind of support do you need? I only require one thing from all of you. The monster has completed its absorption process, and I, Lin Tian, am ready to engage. Any losses incurred during this battle, you will be held responsible for full compensation. Lin Tian remained unwavering, his sword a steady presence on his shoulder, unflinching, without a trace of fear before the arrogant dark figure. He reveled in his own smugness, thoroughly convinced that this was the pure, refined essence of the real world's spiritual energy. He felt the potent life force coursing through his veins, an unprecedented exhilaration. Now, I haven't just returned from the dead, he roared triumphantly, but I've evolved, transcended, become a superior being. I've reached the pinnacle, the 5th level of Yongquan. I can feel the boundless power surging within me. From this moment forward, I am the absolute ruler, the invincible sovereign of this place. A cruel, wicked smile twisted his lips. You must be regretting it now, regretting not finishing me off in that gloomy forest, he taunted. You pathetic human. Lin Tian remained impassive, his expression indifferent to the enemy's provocations. The ferocious dark figure launched the first attack. A gigantic bat, eyes blazing with crimson fury, was unleashed with terrifying speed. This is my true power. He erupted in savage laughter. Inside Commander Shin's office, everyone watched the monitors with expressions of bewilderment and anxiety. What's happening? How can this be? A bolt of lightning, crackling with devastating power, pierced the night sky. The bat was ripped in half, but Lin Tian's expression remained cold and indifferent. Every member of the observation team gaped in astonishment at the scene that had just unfolded. Could that be the legendary lightning attribute? Absolutely terrifying. Someone with such devastating power must be considered a monster in the eyes of ordinary people. Commander Shun echoed the boy's sentiment. Kid, I share your opinion. It seems you truly haven't disappointed me, Lin Tian. On the bustling streets below, people were frantically evacuating, seeking safe haven. Remain calm. Everyone, please don't panic. Buses from across the city are being dispatched. Please maintain order. No pushing or shoving. The intense lightning bolt had captured the attention of the entire city. Quick, look over there. Such terrifying lightning. Could someone be undergoing a heavenly tribulation? I've never witnessed anything like this in my life. There must be a powerful cultivator undergoing tribulation. I bet it's the 9 heavens lightning tribulation. Everyone buzzed with excited speculation about the strange phenomenon. Wu Ting gazed worriedly towards her sister, Lung Yu. This must be the awe-inspiring power of Captain Lin Tian. Lin Manhwa was lost in thought, her delicate brows furrowed slightly. Lin Tian's strength is truly beyond imagination, terrifying. I thought that once I reached the 4th level of the Yongquan realm, I would be able to catch up to him, at least close the gap, stand shoulder to shoulder with him. But now looking back, I realize how small I am, a mere jester before him. Shin Feifei also harbored her own thoughts. Lin Tian, the man I chose, is truly extraordinary, a cut above the rest. The battle raged on, fiercely intense and breathtaking. Lin Tian unleashed his moves, his aura soaring to the heavens. The black demon frantically counterattacked, launching a series of ferocious blows. But Lin Tian effortlessly neutralized them all, like ripples against an unyielding cliff face. He surged forward, his sword flashing, shattering every single one of his opponent's attacks. Thunder Flame sword technique, Ice Mountain Sink, a colossal surge of energy obliterating everything in its path, hurtled towards the black demon with terrifying speed. He was completely caught off guard, unable to react. He desperately mustered all his strength to defend, but it was all futile against such earth-shattering power. A deafening explosion ripped through the air, sending debris flying in all directions. The dark figure stumbled, crashing to the ground. Damn it, he snarled, teeth gritted in fury. He sprang to his feet, unleashing a ferocious counterattack. Thick, black tendrils of demonic energy coalesced around Lin Tian, threatening to consume him. But with extraordinary strength and superior combat skills, Lin Tian deftly evaded every deadly blow. The HMO, his initial arrogance gone, began to panic. Rage and helplessness consumed him as he roared in frustration. Damn you. If it weren't for that sword, you'd be dead already, he bellowed. Lin Tian scoffed, pointing a finger at his own head. Oh, there's plenty of blood up here. Why don't you try it? He taunted. The Heian went mad, consumed by rage. You're asking for death, he shrieked, launching another attack at Lin Tian with terrifying speed. The blow landed squarely on Lin Tian's head, but he seemed completely unfazed. It hadn't caused him any harm whatsoever. He couldn't believe his eyes. No, impossible, he stammered. That was my full-powered attack, the peak of Yongquan 5th stage, he cried out in despair. How can you be unharmed? Could it be you've broken through to the 6th level of the Yongquan realm, or even a higher level? Lin Tian calmly smoothed back his hair, offering no response to the Dark Lord. Then die. Lin Tian's eyes turned icy, the young man raising his sword, ready to deliver the final blow. Terror gripped the Dark Lord, his body trembling in fear. I can't die here. I can't. I need to absorb more energy, evolve to become stronger. He turned and fled in a panic. Just wait until I cultivate to the 6th level of Yongquan. No, the 7th level of Yongquan. Then I will return and take revenge on this brat. But Lin Tian wouldn't let him escape so easily. The young man's face darkened, his eyes sharp as blades. You won't get away this time. Thunder flame, sword technique, falling star, blinding light flash. Sword chi pierced straight through the Dark Lord's back. He gritted his teeth in agony. No. A desperate scream echoed, but it was all in vain. In a matter of seconds, he vanished into nothingness. Only shattered fragments remained, scattered across the vast expanse. Joy and jubilation filled the air. They had finally done it. We've destroyed that monstrous super mutant. Tianhai City is saved. We did it. Tianhai City is safe. This victory is the dawn of a new era for Tianhai City, a brilliant new beginning. This isn't just the dawn for Tianhai City, but for all of humanity. Commander Shin's face beamed with pride and joy. Immediately, everyone launched into rescue efforts, aiding the injured. At all costs, ensure that everyone who is hurt receives prompt and thorough medical attention. Several days later, inside a quiet room, Director Liu expressed his deep admiration and appreciation for Lin Tian's talent. He spoke warmly to the young man. Lin Tian, during the recent crisis in Tianhai City, we were fortunate to have you. The military department and the Spirit Weapon Association have decided to award you with something befitting your contributions. Do you have any requests? Anything you'd like to try? His voice was earnest and sincere. There's something incredibly important I desperately need your help with. His voice was almost a plea. You must help me. Please, tell me what's troubling you. He gestured towards the 3 girls sitting at the next table, his face a mask of frustration. Could you find a way to get those 3 to leave? My house is already cramped, he said, his voice tight with barely contained fury. I'm so angry I could spit fire. They keep coming here, completely disrupting my life. And 2 of them are a bad influence on Wu Ting. Can't you see that? Lu Ying fell silent, pondering the situation. Lung Yu certainly won't leave. And if Lung Yu stays, Shun Fei Fei will stay too. If all 3 of them refuse to go, then even if Su Wu Ting leaves, it won't matter. I understand. You want me to offer him a more spacious villa? A thought suddenly struck him. Lin Tian replied casually, it's just a small matter. Leave it to me. I guarantee you'll be completely satisfied. The general immediately gave a thumbs up, signaling his approval of Lin Tian. He continued excitedly, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. Lin Tian sensed something wasn't quite right, like there was a hidden meaning, but he remained silent, saying nothing more. The next morning, in the grand hall, another general stepped up to the podium. His topic was the main focus of today's meeting. He cleared his throat and solemnly declared, Lin Tian has made significant contributions in resolving the recent crisis, saving Tianhai City from the brink of destruction. What fitting reward should we bestow upon him? The other officials began a lively discussion. I propose granting him a vast amount of cultivation resources to help him become a transcendent cultivator, a protector of our nation. We need to build him up as a superhero like those in the West, a symbol of our nation's strength. Several others agreed. Exactly. We'll promote his image, turn him into a renowned hero. Exactly. A heroic figure like Lin Tian is precisely what we need. His influence could inspire and motivate countless young men, igniting in them the passion to embark on the arduous path of cultivation. The man beside Lu Ying immediately countered the proposal. Are you joking? What does a celebrity know about national military affairs? Lin Tian is not just a hero of Tianhai City, but also an exceptional cultivation genius of our entire Xia kingdom. He continued to express his viewpoint. I propose we enlist him into the high ranks of the military, and subsequently, Lin Tian will undertake the responsibility of training cultivators within the army. Commander Shun was about to add his own thoughts, but his words were abruptly cut short by a man entering the room. I object. Everyone in the meeting room turned towards the door, their faces etched with surprise and curiosity. Commander Han, what are you doing here? Commander Shin furrowed his brow, lost in thought. Han Xiaofeng, why had he returned? Could it be? Xiaofeng, his face an impassive mask of steel, addressed him. Supreme Commander, I heard reports from my subordinates that you already presented the awards to those kids. Commander Shun inquired with a puzzled tone. Commander Han, what exactly do you mean by this? Without hesitation, Commander Han frankly expressed his opinion. My point is a mere brat, relying solely on luck to defeat a monster, doesn't deserve a medal. His words immediately sparked fierce opposition. Commander Han, your words are outrageous. Lin Tian was able to resolve the crisis in Tian High City. It wasn't just luck. Another person chimed in with agreement. Exactly. This time, the entire mission in Tian High City was recorded. Xiaofeng glanced at them coldly and asked, is this where you two losers think you can speak up? Commander Shun slammed his hand on the table, interrupting Xiaofeng's display of dominance. He looked at Commander Han with a sharp gaze and spoke sternly. A Tier 5 evolved mutant beast isn't defeated by mere luck. I understand your skepticism regarding Lin Tian. However, awarding him a medal isn't your decision. Xiaofeng finished speaking and settled into his chair. An oppressive aura emanated from him, silencing the room. As expected, you're adamant about awarding him a medal. Well, my hands are tied. Regardless, I'll never acknowledge this. Commander Shin spoke once Xiaofeng was seated. Let's continue the meeting. Any suggestions? Lin Tian, he didn't help us for personal gain. He doesn't desire position or wealth. Everyone pondered, but no viable solutions emerged. Commander Shun turned to Lu Ying. Old Lu, any brilliant ideas? A sly grin spread across the old man's face. Heh, it seems like the relationship between you all and Brother Lin Tian is hitting a bit of a snag. At this crucial juncture, it seems I must speak up. Only I, Lu Ying, truly understand what Brother Lin Tian needs most right now. Lu Ying spoke slowly. A few days ago, I met with Lin Tian, and I asked him what he needed. He made one thing very clear to me. Everyone immediately focused their attention on him. Old Lu is still the same old Lu. Stop beating around the bush and just get to the point. Lu Ying continued calmly, recounting verbatim every single word from Lin Tian. Lin Tian said. He mimicked Lin Tian with an indignant expression, roaring as if to breathe fire, frustrated and annoyed. They come here every day and bother me, making it impossible for me to live a normal, peaceful life. Moreover, those two are corrupting Wu Ting. Don't you see? He declared firmly, his eyes blazing with conviction. Therefore, Lin Tian desired a spacious home, large enough for him to comfortably live with Lung Yu and the others, without feeling cramped or confined. The attendees were wide-eyed and slack-jawed in astonishment, their faces stunned by the commander's explanation. So that's what it was. Why didn't we think of that? Indeed, it makes perfect sense. We completely overlooked the most basic needs like eating, living, and sleeping. Only Commander Shun was perceptive enough to realize it. He thought to himself, Lin Tian wants to provide the best possible living conditions for Lung Yu and everyone, so they don't have to live in cramped quarters anymore. However, it seems like little Fei also has some feelings for Lin Tian, doesn't she? Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Commander Shin cleared his throat and spoke. In that case, let's all consider if there are any villas or large luxury apartments suitable in Tian High City. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Feng declared firmly, stop searching. I know a luxurious villa, perfectly suited to the requirements. The person beside him immediately noticed the strange shift in his demeanor. Wasn't Commander Han vehemently opposed just a moment ago? Why the sudden change of heart? Commander Shin asked, oh, and where is this villa? The other person scoffed, replying sarcastically. The Liuhu Manor, located on Chiang Street in Deep Sea City. The attendees in the conference room were completely bewildered and confused. Someone spoke up, questioning, Isn't Deep Sea City under complete lockdown? The abnormal situation in Deep Sea City. According to classified military documents, the danger level has reached Yongquan level 6, hasn't it? Lu Ying sharply questioned. Commander Han, what are you hiding? Our Spirit Weapon Cultivator Association has never wronged you. Why are you making things difficult for Lin Tian? Wasn't the main purpose of today's meeting to award Lin Tian? There's no need for a new assignment to assess his true capabilities. Xiaofeng replied to Lu Ying, his tone laced with sarcasm. Lu Ying, you're too kind. I simply believe that if he can't even handle cleaning that villa, he's not worthy of any reward. Commander Shun furrowed his brow, sharply questioning Commander Han. Are you questioning my decision, Xiaofeng? Xiaofeng scoffed. I wouldn't dare. I just want to witness firsthand. If this hero everyone praises, this legendary hero, is truly as capable as the rumors suggest. The next day, Lu Ying handed Lin Tian a stack of papers, saying, Brother Lin Tian, I'm truly sorry. He continued to explain, as Lin Tian looked at him with confusion and suspicion. You faced countless dangers, narrowly escaping death to complete your mission, and the army intended to reward you accordingly. But someone interfered. So, Lin Tian opened the papers and read the contents. Property owner, Lin Tian. This is a shared ownership certificate for a specific unit within the prestigious luxury villa district number 6 by the lake, located on the renowned Qiyang Road. In this bustling coastal city, Lin Tian froze, his mind reeling. Good heavens, this villa must be worth tens of millions of yuan. There's no way. They're just giving it to me. Seeing Lin Tian trembling, Lu Ying panicked. He quickly said, Lin Tian, please don't worry. If you're not satisfied with this villa, I'm willing to risk my old life to get you one you like better. Lin Tian snatched the certificate, more frantic than Lu Ying as he stopped the old man. What are you saying? Damn it, you're asking me if I like a villa worth tens of millions of yuan? The question is whether I deserve to accept it, not whether I like it or not. He carefully tucked the ownership document away, then agreed. All right, I'll accept the villa. Please do. Lu Ying breathed a sigh of relief and continued. Oh, and one more thing. Last month in this very city, we've received intel about a Yongquan-level mutated creature in this area. It's reached the 6th realm, possessing formidable power. The creature's energy core is located inside that villa. The military is prepared to assist you, Lin Tian. An elite squad will be deployed for this special operation. We've meticulously planned everything to ensure the successful elimination of the mutated creature. Lin Tian looked puzzled. Why so much trouble? He asked. I can handle this myself, he stated confidently. The commander anxiously explained. I know you recently defeated a 5th realm Yongquan monster, but this mutated creature is from the coastal city. It's completely different. It's a 6th realm Yongquan creature, vastly more powerful. Don't underestimate it. Although it's only one realm higher, from Yongquan level 5 to 6, the difference in strength is immense. It's a quantum leap in power. We can't afford to be careless. We must not take any chances. You're still young, Lin Tian. Be patient. Focus on your training. A bright future awaits you. Lin Tian interrupted him calmly. I understand. But now, I've reached the 7th level of the Spring of Courage realm. Lu Ying was stunned into speechlessness, stammering, say, 7th level of the Spring of Courage.